back to the Netherlands. So even their first few days of group stage, he was acclimating to jet lag and acclimating to playing with Miracle. He said in his interview, wasn't told that Miracle was going to be on their active roster for this tournament until like 3 days ago.
I mean, must have been pretty excited. I feel like it's always fun to play with Miracle, right?
Yep.
You know, and they're having a good time. They know the fans are going to love to hear it. I know it's like, there's definitely some pressure, I'm sure, because Miracle's been grinding a lot. Like, he's definitely been trying to get into good shape because no one wants to show up and have a bad performance, especially when he's so like beloved, obviously, and has so many fans. And it is hard for Nigma, I feel like, to always try and figure out like where to go with these rosters because they're under a lot of scrutiny by their fan base. I feel like the only one who comes close is like the C teams. C fans, you guys are vicious for stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like with Nigma, because they've just been so over the last 4 years, like, yeah, they've made one change here or there, but because they haven't provided results, I think some of the criticism is very valid, to be completely fair. But yeah, the fans are vicious, not taking away from that. But if you've been trying the same thing for so long and it's not working out, there has to be some point where you just realize that something needs to change, something drastic, something that you haven't tried changing before. And I think it was Duraccio saying in an interview, previous major winner Duraccio, he said, Nigma still sucks with or without Miracle.
They sucked with them before, then they got rid of them, they sucked. Yeah, now they suck again, like they're still gonna suck.
That's what he said. I'm just quoting him.
He's taking some Quinn coaching right there.
You were
trying.
Like, I feel like you're trying to
in the interview. Get spicy. You know, Quinn's like poking the bear there. I think
a lot of that stuff gets said like off camera. I feel like it's honestly refreshing to hear players like honestly review other teams because at the end of the day, everyone's thinking it. Sadly, like such a team with the former glory of winning TI7 and kind of just fell off the face of the competitive planet.
Laryl's just in this lobby. Everyone's like, hey, look at the ages, guys.
Yeah, everyone's name is on it except for Laryl. He's like, ooh, might look promising to be on there. And given the caliber of the Nigma's players, that's what's the most heartbreaking thing to me because, boy, I heckin' love Miracle. And whenever we got to see him do that rampage on that anti-mage game, kind of made me feel a little something. Kind of made me want to say a little something.
Watching Miracle get a rampage as anti-mage in Dota 2 was an incredibly exhilarating experience. The flawless execution and perfect decision-making that he displays are a testament to his incredible skills as a player. The moment that Miracle gets the first kill, the anticipation builds as we watch him move through the enemy team with ease, using his skills and items to maximum effect. The tension is palpable as he takes down one opponent after another, and when he finally secures that fifth and final kill, it's like a burst of adrenaline rushes through our bodies. It's not just the fact that he got a rampage. It's the way that he did it. Every movement, every decision, every button press is calculated and precise. And seeing it all come together in such a perfect way is truly awe-inspiring. It's a reminder of just how incredible the game of Dota 2 can be, and how the best players in the world can make it seem like an art form. Seeing Miracle achieve a rampage as anti-mage is a moment that will stay with us forever, a testament to his skill and dedication to the game.
So maybe it wasn't entirely from me. It might have been machine learned a little bit. So you yourself can make love letters to some of your favorite plays in Dota history. Just go to ChatGPT. So let's describe how, I don't know, Trent, give me another memorable play that you would like immortalized by ChatGPT.
Describe how it felt to see Shiver miss that ravage.
That's a good one. Brian, you got one?
I'd go for how it felt to see Honest sell his items at the secret shop.
That's a good one. Mira, what would be your choice?
Describe how it felt when Swindle Melons dropped.
I just did a highlight. You guys just flaming.
Ultimately,
That was a highlight.
it was a highlight.
That is an iconic moment
It is.
of Dota history.
We would have never had him in talent otherwise. And we are entering a very synth wave draft, it seems now. As we get into game number 1 of Nigma Galaxy versus Team Spirit. And, oh, interesting. I was originally informed that Nigma might have a penalty, but it seems like their reserve time is the same, so maybe not, because we were waiting on Nigma. But they're here now, and they're ready to play Dota. And they're ready to ban Beastmaster and Primal Beast. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Brood always has to be banned by Team Spirit. And
So,
But you never see the first pick team ban it. This is
that's
the
right.
only
Yep.
team
yep.
in this tournament that is doing this.
And it seems strange too, right? Like, because it's been a while, guys. Like, that Brood has been a hero like this, but this has been a consistent issue for Team Spirit for the entirety of DPC.
Hear me out, though, because this is something I've struggled with. If you know Broodmother's broken like 8 months ago, right? And then what happens is there's a sub patch that keeps nerfing her. So it's like, I didn't know her when she was at her most broken. I won't know her when she's a little bit less broken or a little bit less broken. It's like this slippery slope I feel like they use to validate, like, I'll just wait until she's not good anymore. And then it's 8 months later.
Dude, I freaking love Team Spirit. What is this overall first pick anti-mage?
I know, right?
Wait, what?
I love this team.
I could love this team.
You will not rampage us with Miracle by any means.
I can't wait for the chat GPT. But, so normally Team Spirit they do have this tendency to first phase their carry, but it usually comes out after the enemy team already reveals their offlane, right? So they'll have first pick, they'll secure something like a Rubik or an Undying or what have you. And if the enemy offlane comes out on the 3 and 4, then they just bring out their carry, and it's usually anti-mage or drow. But they bring it out so early here, it feels almost a little bit disrespectful.
A little bit, and then they're going for an IO too. Like, there's also like Disruptor still in the pool right now. I'm just thinking of like Team Spirit. They love that. Laryl, I will say, has definitely been a slight drafting issue for Team Spirit, especially the start of his like bringing him into the squad. But over time, it's got like better and better and better, and he's exploring more of its hero pool to the point now where I feel like Laryl is a real asset when it comes to being this like mid-game sort of initiator. He shows a lot of promise there. Like, I always think like the Laryl DK is looking like one of the best ones that's there. So, I mean, it's cool that Yadoro's picking the hero up so early to give him a lot of time to look at his different options.
Yeah, I wonder, like, is Team Spirit going to pick another core to respond to Nigma's opening, or do you pick a support that enables Anti-Mage in lane against a lot of his counters? Just like something that comes to mind is like Lich with the Frost Armor. Most of Anti-Mage's bad matchups are just heavy physical damage off lanes that don't rely on mana. You know, Slardar, Legion, stuff like this. So they go for the Ursa carry hero counter pick. Good pairing with Io. Io usually doesn't want to play like the farming game nowadays, wants to play the more aggressive run-at-you playstyle of the Slark and the Ursas.
Yeah, and the nice thing about Io and Ursa is Io doesn't just enable him on lane and later in the game. Ursa does hit a period where he does want to farm a little bit, right? He's not running around with the Io the entire time, which sets up for something else that you can play with through your mid lane, right? Suddenly, after taking care of the Ursa for a little bit, you can
Drop him off.
You can
That's
drop
cool.
him off somewhere, leave him, leave him at school for a little bit, and then you go to your Leshrac, you go to your Ember Spirit, you go to your Puck, and then you try to wreak havoc around the map. And that is something that Sumail needs, because Sumail, regardless of Nigma's results, has been consistently winning the mid lane. We watched him, was it yesterday or a couple of days ago, solo kill BZM like 3 times on lane. Like, he has just been so solid for the last few years in terms of performance, and he needs some enabling type of support that can play with that aggression and turn it into something more, so that when Ursa does have his downtime in kindergarten, they're making sure that he's safe and sound and secure, getting him the money he needs.
He's got his PB&J.
Exactly.
Trent, what do you send your kids to school with? Oh, they're not in school yet.
No, they're still
What do you
chilling
send them
with
to
the
daycare with?
They feed them there, man.
They feed them?
Yeah.
This is a high-class daycare you send them
I say,
to.
Thank you. Shout out to
I
the
had
Dota
to-
fans
I
everywhere.
had to forage.
I just go like that took me like a few
Thanks
seconds.
for helping me out here, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I actually wish they had have gone for the Slardar instead of the Ursa, because I feel like I could really go for like an MC Slardar. That's vintage.
No.
That's been hype.
It's like it's an IO pairing
IO,
too.
Yeah, it works well with IO.
I don't like it.
Fun. It beats up Anti-Mage. Where's Anti-Mage gonna go?
I don't
You
like
gonna lane
it.
versus Florida?
I feel like you need to have something that builds auras on your off lane. It's still really good. And if you don't have something like that and you're putting another core in your off lane, it's not going to work for a team like Nigma that's already struggling in winning side lanes. You can't go full greed on this team. Like they're not able to play this tri-core Talon style. Talon aren't even able to play.
Music? This is time travel music. Okay, they need to go back, Effie.
We have to go back.
We have to find the old heroes, the old ways.
All right, you know what? You have a point. Let's go back in time a little bit.
Load up 2017.
What do you think about Meepo?
Meepo.
We're going back in time.
I mean, that's a real. That might have been like you overshot it a bit. You know, you rewound to like a different universe. Meepo, that's a real throwback.
God, remember March of the Machines, Tinker? You want to go back there?
Oh yes, people still meme about his description on like the Dota website that says like he destroys his opponents with fleets of machines.
Yeah, it still
Does
says
it
that.
say that still?
It says it's
That was
still.
my stream tale the other, like last week. I just Googled Tinker, and that was the first thing I followed. I was like, nice.
Valve, get on that. Get on that shit.
How do we describe him now? Destroys you with Shiva's guard blinking all over your team.
Uses his high-tech space lasers
to
melt his enemies.
Valve writing this down right now to melt his enemies. That's good.
You're welcome.
Lore authors.
You're doing the work for them.
I mean, I'm
Maybe we
here
do need
for
to just ask
something.
ChatGPT.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm here for. You guys are all talking about your purposes.
You
What's
can
my
tell me
purpose?
Your purpose?
why I am
in life?
swinging.
In
Yeah.
life?
Yeah.
Okay. I think your purpose in life is to just find your own happiness.
Okay.
And once you find your own happiness, you cultivate your own garden, as Voltaire says.
Okay.
You can then spread that happiness to the people around you and have a positive effect on not just yourself, but the world.
Why wouldn't you just keep it all for
And
yourself?
because for every
I like
happiness,
keeping it for myself.
for every piece of joy that you give to your loved ones, they're going to pass it on as well. And that's how you can make the world a better place. High five, Brian.
I will high five that. That was almost as inspiring as your speech about Anti-Mage
Oh,
or the
thank
Miracle
you.
Anti-Mage
I'm glad.
Rampage.
The draft. There's a lot to talk about.
There have been 3 heroes since that.
Anyway.
We can put our notebooks away.
Spread the garden of knowledge.
Voltaire, definitely a Batrider player.
Voltaire-
100%
no-
spreading fire everywhere. Happy fire.
Actually, Voltaire did write about a character who traveled the entire world, so something that can fly to traverse the world faster would be on brand. But, Disruptor, he looks like the type of guy who'd read Voltaire. And that hero, excellent IO counter, right? It's the traditional one. That is the risk with leaving IO in the pool. Not IO. It's the risk of leaving Disruptor in the pool and taking the IO instead to play on that combo. You're at risk of getting Disrupted, which happened to them.
Second phase, Spirit pick up Tiny and Batrider. Nigma Galaxy, they get Enchantress and Puck.
So Puck, one of the few end heroes that you don't particularly mind playing against Anti-Mage, the coil to catch you until you have BKB, as well as the fact that you blink on her and she has a reaction. Like you can push phase shift. Most of these end heroes, like if they get blinked on by Anti-Mage, will lose 60 to 70% of their mana in a matter of seconds. So it's also nice against Batrider. You pretty much always need to pick a mobile hero. It's especially good because Puck suffers from mana issues in the lane. She can abuse the stick charges.
Yep.
Sets up the reload.
So, I agree completely. I'm just looking at this Enchantress right now and wondering how well it's going to go for Nigma, because we have seen this hero be successful in the hands of other teams, but Nigma's win rate on it, last I checked, was 33%, and that's their best hero.
Well, that's above their actual win percentage.
Yeah.
Their actual win percentage is 25%.
Yeah, and that's their best hero.
There you go.
But I'm still not impressed with the way that they play it. I don't feel like they exploit it enough in lane. I don't feel like they exploit its creep enough either. Like I would have liked to see something a little bit more standard, but if that's what they have the most success with, I understand why they went back to it. But, I mean, as far as Enchantress goes, I feel like there's a lot of good ways to deal with her on the side of Team Spirit. I don't feel like she's going to be that much of an X factor as she usually is on drafts, right? It's like, where do you put her? How many towers is she going to pressure? Is she going to completely stomp a lane? I don't feel like any of that applies right now.
It is nice with the Ursa. I think they're setting up for the Enchantress to lane with the Ursa so the IO can be with a partner that wants to right-click in the off lane. I think that's like the one benefit of Enchantress. She does have a little bit of lane flexibility here with the IO. But I mean, I agree with your point. Like, I think a lot of Nigma's, you talked about it earlier, a lot of the reason why they're struggling is the way that their side lanes are going. And Enchantress is, like, meant to win her lane. She's meant to be a hero that dominates this first, 5 minutes of the game. And if you're not making full use of that, that probably is what's netting them their 33% win rate on it.
Wouldn't you rather see the Enchantress just go on the offlane and like kick anti-mage out of the lane pretty quickly? Like something that can pressure the tower early on with an
absolutely.
Enchantress? I feel like if we put her on the safe lane, Io won't really achieve the same results unless it's something completely wild like an Io Witch Doctor that are good at pressuring tower early, as silly as that sounds. Like that is what I would like to see out of the Enchantress, but I can understand pairing her with the Ursa as well and just securing that lane, right? You don't know where this Bat Rider is going still.
Well, looks like they're assuming it's going to be tiny mid Bat Rider off lane. That's like the way Nigma's banning out right now, because those are 2/4 positions that pair very well with the Bat 3. So if I was against Bat off lane, I'd probably rather be the Io, just because you get the stick charges that get double dipped because you give them to your carry as well. Ursa doesn't particularly mind Bat Rider all that much. You can buy Orb of Venom, you can use your Earth Shock to get on top of him, kill him when you're level 3.
How about something like a Shadow Demon for Team Spirit?
They banned it out.
Oh, they banned it.
Themselves.
Yeah.
Because against anti-mage, you disrupt him and he loses all of his mana.
Fair point.
So Team Spirit take out the offlaners that would have threatened their tower early on, right? They take out the Centaur and the Tide. Also heroes that build the auras that we were talking about. I think Nigma are in a pretty weird spot where there's not really a hero left that'll fit that build for them right now in terms of that early tower pressure.
There's like Underlord, but
I think it's a big mistake to like hold on to your offlane pick here because all of them are just getting banned.
Yeah, they're all gone.
There's very few that you feel happy picking into anti-mage.
I don't know how
maybe even like a Mars.
mind control is, but nature's
Okay, so he's
Wait,
taking
what?
the Ursa
Is this offlane Ursa?
with the Io pairing, maybe?
There you go. I
yeah,
said they
with
needed
the
to pick their
bat.
offlane earlier. That makes sense, I guess.
Okay.
That's actually solid.
Please don't win this game, Nigma, because I do not want people saying I saw Mind Control beat Team Spirit with it.
Well, I mean, he knew it was going to be an anti-mage, so it's kind of cool, right?
No, I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's just like people, they interpret it incorrectly.
Yes, I understand. Yeah.
I mean, Nigma do have a history of playing carries from the offlane.
The anti-mage?
They did play anti-mage offlane on MC a couple of times, and he actually made it look pretty good. But I don't have as much faith in this Ursa Slark duo core actually being able to find that much farm on the map. Like, sure, Ursa can maybe threaten the lane a decent amount, but if it doesn't go in a way where this Ursa is completely snowballing and continuously getting kills and continuously applying that map pressure, he's just gonna fall off.
I think when both teams get items, it's much easier for Team Spirit to just buy a bunch of Force Staves and kite them. These right clicking cores. Yeah, it's like you have the Puck Coil, which you don't ideally want people to get Force Staffed out of, but like, I don't know. I feel like if they kite back, they force the reload and then re-engage with like Disruptor Glimpse or Bat Rider Lasso. It just makes so much more sense in terms of execution for Team Spirit's draft. I'm definitely leaning towards the simplicity that their draft represents.
I agree. I think they have the tiny classic counter to Puck, right? It's also a way to catch him later on in the game. They have the magic damage coming out of the Bat Rider and the Snap, which will deal with the Enchantress, and it'll also deal with the Io once they can get on top of him. They have the Disruptor as an Io counter, and they have Yatoro on one of his best heroes, arguably, whereas Nigma have an incredibly greedy draft that is very dependent on side lanes winning, and they haven't really proven to me that they can win side lanes consistently, so yeah, I'm heavily favoring.
All right, here's the thing though. Collapse is just a one-trick Primal Beast player now. That's all he is, okay?
Yeah.
That's what he's become. He doesn't know how to play Bat Rider anymore. He
That's
has no idea. That's number one. Number two, you are not allowed to first pick any mage and win a game. That is not acceptable.
What's more allowed?
So
Offlane Ursa?
clearly, yes, that is actually more acceptable. So clearly, these two factors will cause Nigma to win this game.
I talked about I didn't want to see the Ursa win for the sake of my pubs, but I'm actually on board with you here. This first pick
come on.
anti-mage. That's
Look,
dangerous.
Collapse, he has no idea how to play Bat Rider anymore. He doesn't know.
Okay.
All he does is he just stomps on his enemy. He buys 2 pairs of boots. This Bat Rider probably gonna accidentally buy 2 pairs of boots.
He doesn't even walk. He's literally riding an animal. Why does he need even 1 pair?
I don't know.
The owl.
I don't know, you guys. We're talking about a team that has displayed consistent results versus a team that has been all over the place for the last couple of years.
Don't you remember what just happened in the last couple of years? We're back in time. Okay?
That's
Back in this
true,
era,
we're
they
time
never won
traveling.
TI, okay?
I forgot.
These are just some this is like Yellow Submarine here, okay?
Yeah.
Who was Yatoro in 2017?
Yeah, where was this guy? Miracle made him, all right? And I think he's gonna take his enemies and just win this game? No. All right?
Wrong.
That's right. Thank you. yeah.
The game is currently paused, so you can continue bickering amongst yourselves for a little while
yes.
if you'd like.
Okay.
As much time as we can.
Please.
So, are we bickering still?
Please
Is that what we've been doing?
I love a
if
good
we've
bicker.
time traveled, you make a great point, Trent.
Yeah.
However, so for me, the win condition I see for Nigma, outside of the Ursuline having to go well, it's going to be Samael popping off, which, yeah, we're used to him doing that, but he is traditionally countered by this Tiny. The question is, like, how good has Laurel become as a player to deliver on what he needs to do here? Honestly, I think Laurel has greatly improved over the last year. I don't know if you guys watched Tour 2 of the EEU DPC, but he had one of the most impressive puck performances I'd ever seen in a long time versus Vetboom. It was such a good series. It just made me believe that this guy has leveled up and he's
really
just
good
become
casting
better.
too, if I remember.
Yeah, and he got some more experience playing internationally in Lima. Like, I do have faith in him to go toe-to-toe with Samil.
How
Or
much?
I hope
you
so.
don't mute the casters, right? Right?
I don't.
See, no, see, that's fine. Yeah.
What?
Good. It's okay.
How much stock can I put
I
into the
need
Eastern
casters?
European DPC?
Oh, you're the caster. Oh, I'm so sorry.
my God.
No, I just watched highlights on YouTube.
No, it's
I'm
fine.
so sorry.
No.
I heard you for sure.
No.
Totally
Yeah.
knew that. She
Yeah,
totally was
yeah.
listening.
No,
It's really
your
obvious.
casting was so
Yeah,
good.
no,
Your,
it was so good,
your
Trent.
casting was so good.
That's
It was really. It wasn't it really good.
I'm really buying what you're putting.
It was so good. I really
such a
liked.
believable panelist.
I really liked when you told the joke about Canada.
You know, I wore black today because it was elimination day and there were teams getting eliminated, but now I'm just so hurt that I'm glad I wore
No,
black.
your casting.
Why do you think she's wearing black? Because she killed you today.
Your casting, Trent.
Yeah,
Trent,
no,
Trent,
I can't
please,
look.
it's-
You better call up ChatGPT, all right?
Listen, it's
and
so
ask
good.
for an apology letter.
I hope you guys enjoyed your last panel with these two on the
It's so-
same one.
Just hear me out, okay?
You know what, Captain? He brought me a flower. And all you brought was
Do you
pain.
want my iPad?
This is life. She brought
Yeah.
death.
Do you want my iPad? Here.
That's a good
This is
trade.
also
yeah,
black.
okay, we're cool.
It's more
Thanks.
expensive.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. Wow, this is big improvement. Thank you. All right,
Can I just borrow it for panels?
settled.
Can I just borrow it for panels?
we'll talk.
And then you can have
We have a rental agreement,
We'll
like a
chat.
lease.
All right.
Yeah.
GPC.
For a small price
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
of 3 compliments.
We're
per
still
panel.
paused, actually.
Oh, good.
No, I was sitting here awkwardly, like, Brian, tell us.
Right, Gary.
I'm just the neutral third party here. I have no weighing in on
Can
this.
we get the cam on the band and let them just riff it out for a little while? Because I've been enjoying the key. Yeah, let's go.
Those vibes are nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this impromptu concert brought to you by the Pots and Pandas. We've got Bob on the keys, Thomas on the horn, and Jans on the drums. And I've got 2 casters for you as well for game number 1 of Team Spirit versus Nigma Galaxy. It's Cap and SVG.
Thank you, Tsunami. That's right. We're finally ready to go for a team that was just knocked down to the lower division. Going out here for Nigma was probably didn't feel too good. But they have a chance at, well, not redemption and survival, but maybe an honorable death. They can go out by taking a game or possibly 2 against the TI-10 winners. Feel like people will look back on Nigma's performance here at this tournament a little bit more favorably.
The honorable outcome. Death by your own hands, perhaps. I don't know. I had a different outlook on this match. Yeah. That was very honorable, very respectful. The first word I said was, this is a zombie team, and they are coming to drag you down into the depths. Brains! Because you're playing for some money, but yeah, you're already eliminated here on Nigma, so you're just playing out of spite. Screw you, Spirit. We're here to ruin your day, mess up your upper bracket run. And hey, if you can do that, you're going to feel pretty good at the end of the day because these are some TI champions.
Part of being a caster is projecting emotion and story onto a player. I don't know.
What? I have not seen that one.
Okay. We'll get a close-up on that one.
Damn.
Is that somebody's, like, father or grandfather?
I think that's Jenkins' grandfather. Oh. Very nice. But anyway, what were you saying, Kev?
I was saying that pretty much tells the difference in our personalities.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, happy.
Me, talking about a dignified death for Nigma, you saying they're a shambling corpse.
Okay, that was not the implication.
Sloughing off of them.
That was not, no, that's an
ready to bite and build more into its army of undead.
First off, I've known some great zombies in my time.
Yeah.
And number 2, it reflects the state of this game. But what that can do for Nigma is there's no pressure. The pressure's all on Spirit here. They can fly free like an eagle. A zombie eagle.
Zombie eagle.
Into the sky.
Sharp is the talon of the zombie eagle.
That's a different match, Cap.
That is a different match. That is a different match that's happening right now, in fact. And we should actually talk about the outcome of this is super important because Spirit... There are some other matches. Pretty much there's a 4-way tie going on right now. There is 3 slots for 4 teams. So you have a very good shot of getting in, especially seeing as some of the matches are a little bit tougher than others, where you've got, I believe, BeastCoast has to play Liquid. That is a rough one for your final team, for your final series to try and get into the top 4. Team Spirit facing up against a team that is already eliminated. Well, actually, you're saying it's their greatest strength at this point in time. But either way, I feel like Spirit, even just 1 game win would probably secure them top 4.
Might get both here. Collapse getting slowed by the tether. The crawl. The slow crawl.
He could have gone for the... He could have gone into the Roshan pit, and instead he kept chasing after GH, and he doesn't get him.
Once again, IO Slark for Nigma. We talked about this the last time they played it, right? And they destroyed that lane. They're off to the races again. 2-0 for Miracle. Off those wave drags, just getting the punish. GH Courier also survived with an uphill miss. So the little things going right for Nigma here.
Have you ever drafted offlane Ursa on any of the teams you were on?
You know, I knew you were going to ask that. And you know what the truthful answer is?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
You have. Okay.
You know who played it?
Who are all the offlaners? So you had Lelis?
Well, I'll tell you.
Had...
I'll tell you. We don't need to go through all this. Right. You know, we don't need to
bring it up. Some painful memories there.
I'll tell you, a TI winner played it. Mr. Snaking himself.
Oh, okay.
There was a patch I remember where he came to me and he said, yo, offlane Ursa is broken as hell. And I said, I need to find a new offlaner. And that's really what started the next iteration of that team. But it can work. You can win some games with it. It's not the worst.
Okay. What is... I presume one of the strengths of the hero is winning the lane.
Yeah, you want to go down here and just crush the anti-mage, you know, just destroy him in the CS, force him off the waves. You definitely don't want to feed too many kills. Yeah. And then you can just power into that mid game with 2 carries and you're feeling pretty great.
All right, so already off to a bad start then.
Yeah, this lane's not going too well for Nigma. Honestly, I think Kuro just got out-traded on the side with Miposhka, and He is not able to have the Enchantress influence that you wanted earlier here. The equilibrium is going Nigma's way. That is the one upside for those trades. But it is...
Oh, they don't want to let him get the Ring of Health.
He's going to get it.
He's going to buy it.
Will he live if he
Where
blinks?
is he going to blink to? It's safe why he would be blinking down the river. GH is in trouble once again here in this top lane, but once again, they are not quite able to get the kill, and it's going to be Miracle who cleans it up instead.
Fishy, slurping up the food. It's getting big up here. I mean, honestly, the upside of putting Ursa off lane here is you get a second carry pick for Miracle. And he got his pick of the litter with this Slark because you're not going to ban carries once this Ursa's out. So this game is really just about how much does this Slark get, because Miracle saw everything, and he might just 1v5 with the IO backup.
Is this, like, was this a dream Slark game? I mean, I see the Bat Rider. Okay, that's fantastic.
It's pretty good. You have a good matchup versus AM. You're pretty good versus the Bat. And the Tiny sometimes.
Not so good against Disruptor, though, right?
Yeah, honestly, I kind of feel like it's a better carry Ursa game. But I'm a little biased towards Ursa.
Okay.
You know, I think Ursa's just generally a stronger hero than Slark. However, I think either is fine here. And of course, you get the IO Slark, right?
Yeah.
IO Slark versus what they felt was going to be the offlane Bat is a lot stronger in terms of the aggressive kill potential, which is how they like to play these IO carry pairs. So I can buy into that idea. It's the Miracle Show. You know, if it's going to be the Miracle Show, make him the star act. Which means MC, you gotta play the bear. Another trade going on.
Gonna be able to get the cookie on top of GH, and this time he will die, but his Collapse gonna pay for it. The Dark Pact is gonna go off, removing the sticky napalm. Miracle gets the kill, but he will die in return. So this time, a 2-for-1 exchange for Team Spirit's favor.
Miracle's still happy about that though, because he gets the solo XP and the extra Agi stack. Mid is pretty much going entirely even here. Probably decent for Sumail, considering I think Tiny's favored in this matchup. And Kuroki is just continuing to get out-harassed by Maposhka.
This is not what's supposed to happen.
No, unfortunately, he had his big camp spawned a troll, which he can't get with the level 2 enchant.
Okay.
Which kind of sucks, and a lot of the other camps were blocked. But I still think you just go into the Radiant middle camps here and get a big creep. As GH is going to die again off TPing out. That is brutal. I guess the upside is Miracle gets solo XP. But now Kuro is going to have to go mid to refill this bottle one more time. 6-minute rune did not go their way either, I believe, right?
Miracle is almost level 6, so Team Spirit are going to have one small little window to try and shut that down. Or maybe he's just going to be able to pick it up for free. Oh. A little bit. Back and forth. Try and go for it now with a Firefly. Getting in front of him. Miracle's getting a lot of damage on him. They do try and hit the hook cookie. Not quite good enough. And Miracle does manage to get the kill. And he gets the level 6 off of that one. He tries to chase after the Snapfire, but forget about it. Meanwhile, Kuro dies again. I mean, you know, the neutral cramps, you know, bad luck. But you're not supposed to be dying this much as an Enchantress in the laning phase.
No, he's having a rough one. He is definitely having a rough one. Offlane Ursa doesn't help you too much here, but...
Sure, yeah.
You kind of just have to play around it, right? Maybe you just jungle a bit more or get the creep early for the interaction. Still, the Miracle Show continues here. 6-1 at 7 minutes. Is this just into feed territory? I mean, this lane's out of control.
Yeah, it's getting real bad. I mean, if you're going to go on the zombie analogy here, Collapse and Mira are currently hiding a zombie bite. Like, what's going on up there, guys? Oh, nothing. We got it all under control, no problem.
I mean, you might need to break out that medical Midas prescription from yesterday.
The medical Midas.
It's coming back.
Oh, man.
The upside for Miracle in this game compared to the other IO Slark game is I think because he has the puck mid, if he gets this fast diffusal, which he's rushing here, it's a lot easier to use it because this coil will guarantee some latch for the Slark going into these mid-game fights, and it's just a guaranteed kill. There isn't really a save versus it. Yeah. Pretty much have to be strong enough to fight him. Nice courier snipe from Collapse, making the most of this rough situation. But you have to be careful because as we saw, Sumail picked up a haste. This puck can instantly rotate to either of these side lanes and just guarantee a kill with this haste rune. So this cutting is nice, the courier kills are nice, but you don't want to feed away another core kill, and I think they're thinking about it here.
Yeah, he's doubling up the wave. Definitely time to punish him if you can. I think, like, you know, one wave was acceptable.
I mean, they're committing hard for this. They're giving up a wave under tower.
Yeah, this is pretty intense, and Collapse, I think, is fine. I mean, he doesn't have to.
Okay.
All right, that was cute. Well played, Collapse.
They brought the puck, though. So baited out the TP. Who really outplayed who there?
Yeah, it's like he could have just ran down the side of the map and gotten away from Miracle and TP'd out there, but no, he had to have this cutesy little play.
Sometimes being good is not a good thing. That's your Sun Tzu, the Art of Dota quote for the day.
I see.
As Kuro takes another dip to the fountain.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of that lately.
And Miracle gets another. You know, I feel like Kuro has made a pact with the Dota gods in this game. Every time I die, it will be a kill for Miracle. I feel like you take that trade.
I guess so, yeah, sure.
It's a spiritual link.
Miracle will get 1 kill for every death you have. Kuro, turbo running down the lanes.
I mean, it's not that bad, right? He only has 3 deaths. Miracle's up to 8 kills.
No, I mean, he's died just as much, in fact, less than Mira has. Mira is 1, 4, and 1, so.
He might die again here.
Okay, well, now he has the same deaths as Mira.
They're just not letting him cross this river.
No,
I feel like
he's
Kuro's
not.
getting frustrated. He can't get in enemy jungle, but you kind of have to just read the situation that this top lane went so well for Nigma that nobody from Team Spirit can go up there anymore without chain feeding to this Slark. So they're all just sitting around the runes and around Laurel. And there's not anywhere this solo Enchantress can go in that jungle. I think it's time to just jungle it up and get some levels because you're falling behind. Meanwhile, we haven't really talked about Yatoro, but he's been forced off the lane a little bit by mind control. It is the nature of this matchup. Did go for the early Vanguard. He's still having a pretty damn good game on a first pick anti-mage, all things considered. And he's going to be able to stay down here outside of a puck rotation.
MC's game seems to be going pretty well, too, though. He's even net worth with the AM.
It was a rough start, but he's back.
So you said one of the things about it, winning lanes. Why, hold up. See if we get a glimpse here.
Yeah, this level 6 disruptor. He already has Diffusal on this Slark. He's so far.
Got him with the glimpse back, hit him with the static storm, but he got out of the kinetic field in time. If he got trapped in the kinetic field, then he would have been food for Laurel as soon as that ult ran out. Unfortunate.
Unlucky.
Anyway, Snaking, he said, off lane Ursa, broken. Why did you not end up playing it? Like, I'm presuming you tried it in a scrim or something, and like, what was the downside of it?
We did play it. I think we played it in an official.
Oh. Well, why didn't you play it again?
Because it's kind of bad.
Okay, yeah. Well, why is it bad? That's what I'm trying to get to.
The hero has very limited itemization options. Like, you can go a pipe on offlane or something, but is it good, you know? His spells are pretty weak. In other words, he doesn't have spells. That's the light way of putting it, right? So offlane Ursa, he's offering you no utility, no lockdown, no real aura building, no real early map presence unless you want to devote support time to him, which in that case, he's kind of just the carry. He's going to go pipe. Okay, I mean, that is the route you can go here. It's not pretty, but it works.
I mean, an enraged Ursa with pipe on him, he's just not going to take any magic damage at all. That sounds great.
Okay, the support Ursa is better because now you have this level 25 Talon. That's
right.
This offlane Ursa gives AoE enrage for half.
Imagine a Slark with that much status resistance.
It's all about the late game.
Laurel tried to bait out this tower. Didn't get a chance, though, because there was a sentry there. And now, as he leaves, Mira is left behind. Miracle on a mega kill streak. Man.
Miracle is just destroying this game.
He really is.
He's destroying it so hard that it might not matter there's an offlane Ursa. They're just going to power through, get this early pipe, get Roshan's on this Slark, and it's just GG.
I mean, the craziest part to me about their offlane Ursa is the fact that they don't have stuns out of their supports either.
No,
like, okay, maybe, you know, like,
liability.
Yeah, you need more utility out of your other heroes. Well, you got a puck, that's nice, but then your other 2 supports don't provide any stuns.
No, that's why the coils are super important.
Yeah.
There's one of them on 2.
Yeah, where's the follow-up, though? The relocate in. They're going to be able to nab one and collapse slowed down by the enchant. That'll be 2. Laurel might be able to get the return kill, and in fact does.
That's a lot of burst.
A hefty amount of damage there with both the combo of the Tiny plus the kisses raining down on him. 1 for 2 exchange so far.
And that was a 6 kill streak, so that's almost 1,000 golds going Laurel's way.
Nice.
That kill had to go to somebody. I guess you'd rather give it to the Tiny here than the AM or somebody else with a mana void. Maybe not the worst outcome, but you still would rather have Miracle up, and
Stamail's not quitting.
Trying to use that Witchblade. He will get glimpsed. No phase shift available.
And hit him with the cookie.
Ward.
Perfectly timed. Stamail does not get the kill on Laurel, and in fact, Laurel turns around and kills him.
Those are big kills to give up here. You had a lot of momentum on this map if you're Nigma. And the upside of offlane Ursa is he can give your other carry Aegis. Right?
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty nice utility tool.
Farm Roshans for him, sure.
So that is something Nigma want to consider this game. If that doesn't happen for whatever reason, it's going to feel pretty bad. We are approaching 15 minutes, which will mean one of the early power spike night times for this IO Slark. Ideally, you want to try and abuse the map. Some more here if you're Nigma. Continue to build that lead, because that lead just got shrunk down to 1k. And Anti-Mage is closing in on the point where he's going to start pushing your waves with that Battle Fury. It's coming. Coming soon.
At least they have pretty... I feel like they've got some okay catch. Coil, relocate, and then if they get the Aghanim Scepter on Slark. Those are 2 pretty decent options for catching an AM trying to split push you.
The pounces are going to be good this game. There's not a lot that disjoints it. And there's not really natural force staff buyers on Spirit either. Like Disruptor Snap are not going to buy force staffs.
Sure.
Neither this Tiny Bat really, because they want to scale.
Yeah, Cookie doesn't break the pounce.
So these pounces off this Slark Eyes are going to be really nice this game. And a 2-man smoke. Just looking for something cheeky with the nighttime. Echo Saber up for Miracle. He is really farmed, man.
They're trying to use that strength. Miracle.
Oh, he has a good angle.
He's going to run straight into Laurel, and Miposhka instantly gets Static Storm. Do they have a relocate to be able to get him out of here? They're going to try. GH comes in and does manage to get the relocate to safety. Miracle stays alive and now goes back in as Laurel's low enough. MC helped bring him down. Miracle jumps back again. They get the 1 tiny kill, and not able to get any more, but pretty decent outcome considering the way that started.
And now you're straight into Roshan. This is what the offlane Ursa gives you. The front line, the tank with the hood, straight into the Rosh that Slark would not be able to do here otherwise. What more can you ask for? This is why you listen to your captain.
Curl wanted that?
No, it's probably Miracle. But if Miracle asks for something, are you really going to deny him? No.
Man, Team Spirit really do not feel like they can do a whole lot with this Tiny currently.
Even after he got that huge kill streak.
Yeah.
Still not enough to push him towards this Echo where they feel like he has the burst. They do have a lot of magic damage burst right now, but they haven't really been able to aggressively shove the lanes into Nigma based off that rough laning phase where the Slark went 9-1. So they just don't have the map control to use the pickoff right now. They don't have the vision either for a large portion of this game. And MC is running at you. That's all he can do because he's an offlane Ursa, but I mean that's menacing right there.
It is terrifying.
You see a hood Ursa running at you, you don't know whether to run away or report him.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And soon he's going to be running at you while he's smoking a pipe.
It is a good pipe game. You look at this Team Spirit lineup. They are magic oriented for sure. It's going to scale the whole damn game here. So I do kind of like that. There's a route where I think he could have just gone like Blink Basher. And if you get those 1 or 2 kills on the map versus the AM with the extra lockdown, it pays off. But it's a riskier itemization here. And I think part of Nigma's team talks that they were alluding to was, you know, MC, you got to play for the 2 of their carries, man. Because we got 2 of the best carries in the world on this team, but they need some help. Yatoro, the lookout.
Relocate coming in with the coil. You get the snap on collapse.
We got silenced on the cliff.
Oh, he wanted to be able to jump down. Bad timing for Yatoro, who's now getting spotted. He's going to choose to blink out and does go for the puck kill. The lasso barely goes out in time. Does trade 1 for 1. Now the Ursa is here, though, and he's going to quickly gobble up that snap fire. And perhaps a little bit more. Miposhka is going to be caught in the mid lane as he goes for the TP out. Not going to make it. Kuro takes that double kill.
He's back. Rough early game. He's back. Another kill for more XP for Miracle on top of this. He's 10-2 this game. Ridiculous performance from him.
10-2-3. He's been part of 13 out of the 15 kills Nigma has gotten this game.
You know what I know, Cap? I feel like if we're casting this team, they look pretty damn good.
Yeah, seriously.
Everybody's just telling me this team is doing awful, but every time we cast them, they look like old Nigma.
I remember when Blitz and I casted OG at TI8 on like the second or third day of the group stage, and everyone's saying OG was pretty bad on those like the first day. And then we casted them on like day 2 or 3, and I was just, this team looks perfectly fine. They look like a top 8 team.
It's the opposite of the caster curse.
Yeah.
The caster benediction.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think I was also there for a lot of DC's lower bracket run. I remember talking to Moo about that.
Let's not give yourself too much credit.
I'm just saying.
Miracle's going to farm to that Ags, and that is going to be the big window for Nigma to just take over this game. If you can catch the AM and actually put some deaths on your Toro scoreboard, it's just going to win you the match straight up. Because he is the one hope for Spirit right now. Continue to farm this AM off the stacks they're building. You have Boots of Bearing on this collapse Bat Rider to try and buff up his teamfight presence. You did build 4 staff on Mira, so he will opt for that utility. I think it's pretty necessary in this game. You need to recreate the gap in the fights, help out your cores from the Ursa and the Slark jumps as much as possible.
Juicy little ancient stack. Half of it was taken, but they do manage to get it take a little bit up from collapse.
Looking bottom a little bit here.
They don't have any mana on Marl, so
there's no presence. Just got to continue to rat. Push through this period.
Okay, there it is. The Ags is up for the Slark. We can see Ags being built by Maposhka, or that's what he wants anyway.
I don't know if he's building it.
Yeah.
he's dreaming of it.
He's dreaming.
Got to keep these reload threats in mind, too. Like any sort of coil, or if you can force a blink. I mean, they're just going to naked reload. I don't think this is going to catch, but you do have double pounce.
Maybe. Let's see if Collapse can somehow juke it out here.
Oh, we got the defusal. That's
enough of a slow, but Sumail is going to help collect that kill on Collapse as they relocate back into form, and they do get this tier 1 tower on top of it. I mean, with the Ursa and the Slark, even if they don't, like, actually corral in and kill this Anti-Mage as much as you're talking about, surely Nigma still feels pretty good going late game, right?
In the current state, for sure. Like, Slark can carry this game with max items. It does not look that bad, even if the rest of their lineup was just debilitated. But the rest of their lineup's doing pretty damn good as well. They're building some utility between the IO and the Ench, getting the auras up. They already have mech, they already have drum. Gonna have a bongo boots of their own. And it's gonna make Yatoro's life hard because he has to get some good pops in the fight. And I feel like the only person he can do that on is really this Puck.
A fast little play here. GH is going to try and heal him up as much as possible, and the pipe comes in from the Ursa, and that is enough to be able to keep Miracle alive. He turns around and kills Yutoro instead, and now the hunt for more. Though he's got to be careful. The cookie lands. Collapse is going to go for it with the lasso, and a little bit of burn slowly, but surely they do manage to get it. Finally, the Slark falls, and Collapse trying to run down GH as well. Laurel's going to help out. With a Slark gone, I think Team Spirit thought they were free to be able to take more kills, but Sumail is still a significant threat here. Another cookie that lands, but Mira, not much he can do here. Sumail's gonna make sure that he falls. Collapse. He never got that GH kill, and now GH, the prey, has become the predator, it seems, or not?
Collapse is just too good in these tree lines, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if these tree lines get patched out in the next patch, you might be screwed.
I think that's what's going to happen.
You never know.
A relocate for a disruptor kill, huh?
They took the Ursa. Welcome to my pipe, son.
Oh no, it's a pipe Ursa. Look out.
This lineup's coming together for Nigma.
It is.
Like, they are playing the map pretty decently. That's Slark for so long. My God, Mage Slayer plus the IO heals doing work. Gotta respect the extra magic resist because, again, your lineup is entirely magic-based right now until Yatoro gets to the late game, or maybe you have a Tiny Ags. So this pipe, this Mage Slayer, no joke.
Yeah, I actually think Laurel's progression is super important in this game because Team Spirit, they're not going to get that point where AM is 6-slotted and just ends the game.
Nope, they're going to have to fight through.
Yeah. Oh, Sumail. That's a nice jump in. Knew they were hiding in the trees. Catches the two of them huddled together. Only able to get the kill on Mira, though. Laurel survives another day.
I like he tosses MC on Miracle. They're both carries. My brain just went to that Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other. You're the carry? No, you're the carry.
Oh, man, collapse. I mean, he's doing what he can. Our laning phase wasn't great, but he is juking Nigma over and over again. And it's giving some space to Yatoro, who's looking to tank Ancient away from the enemy side of the map and cut creep waves. That was a wonderful replay.
I mean, collapse that screen for us. Thank you, my man. I appreciate it. All right, I have a question for you.
Production also collapsing.
I have a question for you.
Yeah?
School's in session. Take some notes.
Oh, no.
Is this...
You know I never went to college, right?
Well, take half notes.
Okay.
Do you think anti-mage first pick is justified? Like... what did they get? What did they get out of it? I guess this game.
What did they get out of it?
I feel like all they got out of it was that Yatoro has worse carry matchups than he would have gotten otherwise. Because the rest of these heroes, I feel like our hero's spirit would have played anyway. Right? To me, it's maybe just a strategic decision. Like, we're going to take the AM away from Nigma, and then they're, as a team, aren't going to be able to respond to it that well. Which I can get. You know, you make strategic decisions for a team. There's a lot of info we don't have. A lot of info based on what they think they're going to play relative hero pools wise, but I still can't help but feel like teams are overvaluing this anti-mage a little bit. I get the hero's really good. Like, his laning's good, his team fight impact's pretty high, he's gotten a lot of buffs. You can always maybe win a late game with this hero just based on the blink abyssal jumps. His ags can help you play pokey fights. I mean, Yatoro might still carry this game. I'm not even necessarily ruling that out, in which case, you know, I'll eat my hat and tip it to him at the same time.
But is it an S-tier hero? An S-tier carry?
I was asking you questions. How are you asking me questions?
Well, okay, that's called deflection. I don't know the answer, so I turn it back around on you.
Well, that's not fair.
The pipe is helpful, but I feel like this might be a little bit too much magic damage, or maybe it's not. The glimmer comes in from the relocate, and MC, the static storm, gives way to a very angry bear. And the worst part is Laurel is the one who died, not the supports. Laurel, who needs to be able to get an Aghanim Scepter and some damage items behind it to actually threaten the Slark.
And then you're back on the other side of the map, and you're just taking more names. Mira, there's nowhere to go. Miracle's still been down here. It's nighttime. He's hunting you.
Mira was part of that go on top lane. He got out of it, showed up the bottom lane, and died immediately.
Glimpse will save Maposhka, but this map is closing very fast. You can feel the pressure ramping up, and Sumail bottom setting up on collapse here. He's going to slow him, hold the coil for the TP until reinforcements can come, but this is probably a dead Bat Rider.
Yeah, Witchblade gives him so much solo killing power.
Yeah, there's a tip for you, Miracle.
Yeah, well, he gets another stat. Oh, Yatoro! MC almost got a solo kill on the enemy carry with his offlane Ursa. His pipe Vlad's Ursa. All right, Law's dead. Spirit, maybe it's best to start talking about how they want to change their draft going into game 2, because they desperately need a win here against Nigma to give themselves just a chance of being able to stay in the top 4. I mean, again, 4 teams, 3 slots.
This might be it. They can burst him.
They're going to try. The cookie helps out a little bit more, but the enemy can't stand toe-to-toe against the 2 of them. They have too many carries on the side of Nigma.
Oh my God, the pipe, the glimmer, the mech, the resistance, they're still trying to kill him.
Finally he dies. The kisses in the Bat Rider once again.
You need some glimpses here. You need them big time.
Yeah, they get GH. That is, I mean, killing Miracle, great.
It just took you so much.
Kind of wish they got another core off of that glimpse, though.
Yeah, the thing is, at this point, MC can just build into second carry. Like, what's stopping him from just going to Bash or BKB or something like this?
Yeah.
Because Miracle is taking up way too much space in these fights. He just keeps going. He does not care if he ends up dying. He knows the committal is going to be so heavy that it's a one engagement no matter what. And of course, he's always building stacks off this. Meanwhile, MC powering up. You don't need much damage items on this hero to just take names. Nope. Blink is about it. Man, this is making me think Snake King was right all along. He knew the offlaner, so I guess that's why he wanted TI.
I was about to say, it wasn't the fact that he wanted TI that maybe changed your mind?
Sitting here next to you, so things work out in the end for some of us.
Wow.
Cry.
I don't think our pay is quite as good as winning TI, but we'll get there someday.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, the Ogre Seal Totem. Ring around the rosy, but the Dark Pact pierces through the trees.
Kill number 16, by the way. That's quite a lot.
Wow.
And meanwhile, MC was just doing Roshan with an edge creep. So this is just shard to somebody. Miracle already has his for the extra save. Who are you going to give it to? Does MC deserve it? Yeah, he deserves it. Extra enrage. Yeah, he's just going to go Basher, and I like that. I think this is the correct decision. You got the ores that helped you secure the early team fights in Roche. Now you just get Blink Basher, and you're still a huge threat. But it's still a good Ursa game. That's the funny thing. I don't think this is a bad Ursa game at all. He's still a huge threat to all these cores. Still going to be super annoying in the fight.
You think the team let him off the leash? They're like, yeah, get pipe. And he's like, okay, I got pipe. Can I go Blink Basher now? And they're like, no. Like, we need a Vlads. We need a Vlads. Ah, fine. But now I've got the Vlads. Now can I go Blink Basher?
They ran out of auras.
They're like, all right, now you can do it. Get him, MC.
Let the dog off the leash.
Oh.
That's. I just love these player cams. Like, they're just so into it, you know.
Radiant's middle tower is
So focused.
Like, yeah, I know I'm destroying this game.
Yeah. Destroying this game like he's destroying that toothpick.
Those are your Toro bones you be chewing on, son.
It bears everywhere. Maboshka can't get away. Now there's a hell bear after him and a puck. A flying bear.
Your Toro got a tier 1. That's some extra gold.
Oh,
You do have tiny ags, which is a lot of the extra physical damage.
They made him blink
Oh,
backwards, but the mail was there. Oh, no. That coil was so close.
tower is under
Did he
attack.
misclick it? That looks so weird, actually. It looked like he like blinked past him. Maybe just unlucky with the tree line fog. A rare miss from Sumail. I mean, honestly, it doesn't make a huge difference. You would like that AM kill to secure this game, but you're still in a very strong position. You still have the entire map. Collapse looking to cut top wave.
And about all you can do is start gearing up for the high ground push that's eventually going to come.
Just stall this Aegis, and they're going to smoke bottom. This is pretty nice. They showed the bat top, and they're making a quick smoke play through the jungle. This is not a smoke Nigma might expect to happen this fast. Yeah, they're thinking it's just Yatoro down here. Sumail might be getting baited.
Yeah, he's going to get hit by the avalanche. Static Storm is there. Sumail's dead.
Yeah, that's just a beautiful play by
Man,
Spirit.
the kisses, too. All right, they get a little bit more. Lasso pull back in. No damage being done until Yatoro shows up. But even then, it's pretty hard to put in that damage. MC. Oh, no, he tossed the aim back in. Careful now. Does manage to get the blink away. Collapse. Has his BKB, then Fresh Firefly going out too, but MC, he's beating into Laurel.
He's going ham.
Yeah, they can't touch him. They can't fight back. Yatoro is using the Aghanim Scepter, and he's burning him out of his mana, and now the Enrage is dead, and now the Bear is dead as well.
3 for 0. That sequence of plays was absolutely beautiful by Spirit, what happened there. Like, so many little things to set up this one small play that might give him a chance to win this game that was getting out of control. You show the bat top. It makes Nigma think, okay, they're just in pure cut waves mode. They're split pushing. You smoke bottom, but Yatoro decides to show on the wave to bait Insumail a little bit more, thinking we saw the bat top, we see the AM bottom. I don't think the rest of the team is going to be flanking me from up on top, which they took a different route. That is how you make a comeback smoke play right there. TI champs for a reason. What a call.
An opportunity. All of a sudden, Collapse is actually pretty close to his Aghanim Scepter, but he may never get it. Miracle has anything to say about it. The pounce, though, he is off the edge there. Miracle can't quite pursue. Blink dagger away. Ogre Seal Totem and a TP. Miracle's going to see him last second.
The bash.
He gets the bash. He gets the Abyssal Blade hit.
Abyssal. Okay, yeah, never mind. Doesn't even need the RNG. He's just the best RNG is wealth. Let that be a lesson for life.
And quick fingers.
Coil break.
Snap the coil. Trying to cover it with the Static Storm. Yatoro's, yeah, this is not a fight you can take.
No, not at all.
It was a great Static Storm, but it was a saving Static Storm. Laurel does manage to get Kuro and the mid tower. That's pretty nice stuff. Reminder, he has that Aghanim Scepter. If he can start getting some damage behind it.
Yeah, he's getting damage right now. Miracle is farming the stacks off him. Oh my god, 39 essence shifts.
Look out. The powerful fish.
And the problem in these engagements is I'm not sure at which point Yatoro is going to feel comfortable enough to man up versus double bash. All right, these are literally the bash bros right now.
Yeah.
They just run at you, you start getting bashed. You can't fight both of them. So he's poking with his Ags, which has been really nice in the fights, but at some point you're going to have to man fight these cores. And you're
not that 150 agility to use.
I mean, 21 permanent agi stacks. Reasonable. Very reasonable for a so-called retired carry player. He's not retired. He's been on break. Maybe more Dota players should take breaks, honestly.
Yeah. Sox is taking one.
Might come back a monster. I'm taking one.
You are taking the longest break.
That just means I'm going to be so powered up when I get back.
Man, 2030 is going to be your year, my friend.
I mean, I've always said it. TI-19.
The prize pool of a $5 coupon to Subway.
I'll take that. That's not bad. Basher for Yatoro. Okay, he's sick of getting bashed. He wants to bash some people back. Don't blame him. Sumail is just... He has no fear. Lincoln Sphere. On top of the heals and ores they can pump on him.
Yeah, especially if he's hunting the Disruptor, the one hero that could punish him.
They have double lock it on Nigma. Yeah, these guys like their heal. They really do like it.
Do they really?
Yeah. I mean, they do have double heal
got one, and yeah, of course, Io always gets one.
That's a lot of extra heal if you can active double lock it, a puck or something. It's like 800 or 900 HP. Kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I guess so.
Man, listen to those tiny sounds. Aren't they relaxing?
Thud, thud.
Guys, please.
His gait isn't even. You notice that?
It's because one leg's bigger than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's also get that big log he's holding.
It's not even a log. It's just a giant bone.
Please, bro.
Wait, it's thud thud. There should be a third thud. He's using the big arm, the club arm, to walk around too.
Dragging it.
What? No,
what? This game?
He's moving the arm. He's moving around like a gorilla, but only with one of the arms.
I mean, that's a cosmetic thing. I don't know if you can add a sound effect for that.
Yeah, see?
I think it is the arm. I think it's the small foot that doesn't make the
the stealth foot.
Honestly, it doesn't sound great. You might want to see a professional. Hags for you collapse. There's some comeback mechanism. You got a big double lasso here.
Man, 2 carries, double lasso. There's your solution.
Got to be wary of the Lincolns that Sumail's throwing around. And you got to be wary of the reload save because there's so much heal on Nigma's side. You can almost guarantee it if you don't have high enough burst damage. Collapse is looking. He's lurking. Thinking about it. But the creeps betray his position.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess...
Miracle's not even here right now, by the way.
Yeah, they're like trying to threaten a high ground while Miracle's...
He just showed top as well.
Yeah, the Team Spirit's like, wait a minute.
What?
They don't have their carry, guys.
It's because Miracle thought Yatoro was going to be up here split pushing.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
But see, Yatoro, he knew Miracle was going to be looking for him up top split pushing, so he joined the fight. But Miracle also knew that, which is why Miracle double jebaited him and actually went top solo without the Io reload pair. Thinking if I show Io bottom, he won't think I'm top. But Yatoro, he knew that Miracle was going to make that double jebait.
Wait, it's hurting my head. Man, you guys really operate on just another level, huh? These professional players.
That's why we get paid the big bucks.
Oh. Okay, already killing Miposhka. MC found the opening he really needed to. Now they managed to lock down the AM as well. Though there was an interruption, get a force staff away and a blink out. He manages to stay alive. And with the Disruptor buyback, there is still 5 up from Team Spirit. So Nigma trying to reset a little bit. Laurel gonna throw some trees at Kuro. Oh! 1,300 damage crit. He has completed the Daedalus.
See you later, Bambi. That was the Disney sequel nobody wanted to see.
Yeah, that was that wasn't a hunter that killed Bambi. That was straight up a
Panzer
freight
tank.
train. That was a roadkill right there.
Looking for the puck too, Static Storm, but he should get the blink and
Yeah,
he will
he's already out.
Prevail. The king, you can't stop him.
I mean, I feel like the mechanics were in his favor there, but
fake hype. OMC's in. He's shredding ya.
He still has that lasso. He doesn't want to use it on the Ursa, of course, with the enrage going out. He
Double
goes back
lasso
in and grabs the
on
two
both
carries. He's pulling them away. The cookie helps double stun them, but they don't really have a hero to follow up because Yutoro was stunned at the time. Mira is going to get hunted down. Collapse trying to keep his distance. Doesn't actually get up to the high ground. Miracle is okay. Into the high ground he goes. Nowhere is safe. Yutoro does manage to blink away from that one, turns back into the Abyssal Blade. The Dark Pack goes off, cleanses that one, and now the bashes are coming in. The silence covers it, and that is just GG straight up, I think. No buybacks on any of these heroes.
Way too many stacks for this Slark. Way too many kills.
Oh, get him. Miracle.
Yeah, give him the fountain dive.
That Depth Shroud. Oh, gotta stay in the circle.
Don't let him
Oh,
go.
we can't get it. Samael, he'll get the Ultra Kill instead.
Ultra kill for the king. Nigma really do show up whenever we're casting. This is a game I thought might have been a little more rough considering the start that MC had on that offlane, but honestly, it didn't seem to matter. It's just the miracle show through and through. He carries the early game, carries the lane. Curl gives him a little wink, says, nice jobs there, lads. Happy to be playing with you once again. 10-1 Slark off the lane. Pretty hard to probably lose from that position, but Miracle closes it out. You get your puck online. Sumail played a pretty damn good catch game, setting up these kills with the one stun they have, making sure they land on the big fours.
Is Toothpick gang? What's going on?
These are just some lads chilling, you know? They're ready to play game 2. Like, damn, we could have been playing like this all tournament. We'd probably be
Maybe
tough.
it's the toothpicks.
Could be.
We should go back to the footage, see if they were using those before. This means for Team Spirit, by the way, they no longer hold their fate in their hands, depending on what happened with the other series in their game ones. If the other teams that are tied with all get 2-0s, then Spirit's just out.
Yeah,
whether or not they win
have
game
to
2.
win this next game.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
This is not the series to be dropping games. And honestly, it kind of goes back to this first pick AM. If you're in a series where you know you need to win, you're versus an opponent who's been struggling. Is that the series to bust out the first pick AM? I'm not saying the first pick AM's even theoretically bad. I think it's a little sus, but I don't think it's necessarily bad. I just think, was it necessary in this game? I think you can just draft Nigma straight up and you're not going to get out-drafted, right? And you're just going to get a more comfortable game for Yotoro, because I think Yotoro's a bit uncomfortable in this game. He's playing up against 2 carries that are building bashers, one that ruins his lane, and the other one that ruined Collapse's lane, and he's not out carrying either.
Well, is double carry the future? For that, we asked our panel.
After all that time traveling, maybe that is the outcome that we've reached, because we were told specifically by Trent, first pick anti-mage is illegal. More illegal than picking first phase Ursa and turning it into an offlane and building a pipe on it, but it won.
The real black market of a draft here. But yeah, the bear came.
Oh!
Oh! Yeah, I think that's the sound effect that goes with there. Correct. Yeah.
How did it look like? Was I
It was
close?
1-1.
Chest was bad.
I think that might actually be your face now.
We're just gonna have this on the whole time.
I mean,
I heckin' love that game.
it's clearly deserved.
All.
I mean, who doesn't love that, right? We're just sitting there like, oh, this bear's kind of owning. What's he gonna buy? Pipe? No, he's not gonna buy a pipe. Oh, he's got a pipe.
It unironically saved Miracle bottom lane from that one static storm. And the thing is, Ursa was still booting anti-mage out of areas on the map to farm. Like, he was the one zoning the anti-mage, which usually falls on the Slark, which allowed Miracle to bat chest over all the other people.
He did bat chest.
There was a lot of bat chesting.
My
going
God,
on.
there was.
Honestly, I had no expectations of Nigma going into this series, and I was pleasantly surprised. I think
I'm telling you, it's you. It's actually you.
Yeah. The safe lane went incredibly well for them. Miracle and GH completely owned. I love the itemization by Ursa, like getting the pipe. It came in clutch so many times. I think a key factor for Spirit that really set them back was the first Static Storm rotation from Disruptor when he went to the top lane to kill Miracle, that was a very needed kill, right? But they actually missed the combo. Like, he glimpsed him back, but he just missed the kinetic static storm. He didn't place it like high enough, and they got away. And I think that led to a snowball effect where I feel like with Disruptor, the first 2 static storms are very meaningful, and if you can't get the key targets, then the game can get out of hand. But that's not to take away with how well Nigma played, of course. There were a lot of clutch saves, a lot of clutch reload outs. Like, even the one time where Miracle looked like he was going to die to the Mortimers and Static Storm combo in Team Spirit's triangle, GH got him out just in time. A lot of moments where heroes were on the cusp of dying, but because of all the tanky items, they get away, and then all of a sudden the Tiny who blinks in is in danger, right? The Anti-Mage who blinks in is in danger. So it never felt like they had enough damage to, out-sustain Nigma's tankiness.
Yeah, I'm always trying to gas up support players all the time. You know, I like playing support. It's my favorite role to play. But I got to say, Disruptor wants to be ahead. So that's why the first 2 static storms are so important. Because, you got to get on a good roll here to make sure you're playing from ahead. And then on the other side, the Enchantress. Good for Kuro did win the game. However, I gotta say,
so much space.
But him and Mukofot were really chucking some serious plays on these side lanes. I don't know what was going on.
I loved when he died 6 times in a row.
Yeah, there was
in the first 6 minutes. That was really cool.
Usually supports are supposed to enable the cores, but this time it was the cores doing all the heavy lifting.
I feel like time out. I feel like you didn't love that.
Is that
right?
I kind of picked up on that ever so slightly, but I'm not 100% sure. And that's all the praise that you're allowed to give to supports, because my Predator head-to-head is about the carries, of course. I want to see how this early first pick anti-mage went down for a Grandmaster anti-mage player of your Toro God. 14,800 hero damage compared to the 37,000 of Miracle Slark.
I feel like hero damage in a game where you're playing from behind as an anti-mage probably is not the best metric.
Do you think any metric would have made Yatoro look good in this comparison?
I don't know. I guess potentially CS, because the map was really constricted this game. So for him to be able to find farm in and of itself was very impressive. I think Miracle played incredibly well, right? He was absolutely choking them out at every point in the game. But I think Yatoro did some really cool things this game too. A lot of anti-mages wouldn't have done the things that he was doing. Like, he was on cliffs, scouting in fights, waiting for opportunities to blink in and mana void the fuck. He was on cliffs, on Dyer's triangle, waiting to see how many couriers he could potentially snipe, or just waiting for the camp to respawn while also providing vision. The Ags purchase on the anti-mage was ingenious. Like, it made it look like Spirit almost had a chance when they took that fight in the bottom tier too.
So what this confirms to me about everything you're saying, because I do agree he did a lot of things correctly, was that if I'm in a pub and somebody first picks anti-mage, even if it's Yatoro, it's not good enough. Especially because the thing is, it's like there's a lot of things he can do to adjust to these matchups, but at the end of the day, he can't blink in. And if it's like 35 minutes in and you can't blink in as anti-mage, you're not going to be able to. That's why his damage numbers are so low. That's why he had to go the Ags, because his illusions can mana burn for him without him having to commit. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest part is he can't farm near the Io Slark. He can't farm near the Ursa. If the puck is there +1 at all, he'll die. So these cutesy moves that he has to make are a result of all of the bad core matchups that he was dealing with.
So what I'm hearing is you're fully endorsing offlane Ursa all the time.
Every
pretty much
game,
in any game.
Blind pick.
Blind pick.
You know, it didn't look bad at all, the offlane Ursa. And we were all like, huh? And that made me and Brian kind of really cringe at Nigma's draft. But Nigma have proven over the years that they're actually really good at these unconventional carry style offlaners. Like, when they did bring the anti-mage offlane into the meta last year's DPC, everybody laughed the first time it came out and bet against it, but then they won 3 games in a row with it. So, you know what? MC, do your thing, man. Play offlane Drow Ranger next.
Maybe he hasn't been following his heart enough up until this point.
That's what I'm saying.
It's true.
You know?
Maybe not the Drow Ranger.
Okay.
The solution wasn't for him to play like Seb. It was to play like Miracle.
Don't bring that back up.
I
Let's leave the guy
No.
alone.
He
He got
the
one
win.
dub.
He got the win.
No, it's to play like MC.
Wow. That's inspirational.
music is
stuff.
healing
It's
right now.
healing. He's returning to life. Spirit, on the other hand, that was not the kind of game that they should be giving away. As you heard from Cap, ramifications for losing this series are high because all the other teams that have the same score as Spirit, they won their first games. OG won their first game, and Tundra won their first game, and beastcoast won their first game. Spirit did not, which means that there's still a chance all those other teams would have to lose their second game, or Spirit need to pick this one up also. But being down 1-0 already is concerning. Not the kind of game that you can just be like, it's Nigma, we're just first pick anti-mage. What are they going to do about it?
It's actually like best case scenario, they get tiebreakers now, right? Because
Yes.
all the teams are 7-5, so if at least one team from there that already won has to lose.
Correct.
And if they all three win, Team Spirit's already out.
Yep.
But now Team Spirit, if they lose this game, they're actually out.
Yep.
Dunzo.
So
Best case tiebreakers, worst case you're out.
that's
Worst case,
not where we thought they would be.
Eastern Europe as a whole would be out because ex-HellRaisers also already eliminated.
I hear
And-
something.
I know. We are
Noise.
beginning the ceremony. There he is.
So large.
Right over there.
Ba-ba!
Wait, now he's gonna drink.
How do you know?
Sip, sip, sip.
Predictable.
Big chug from the Brewmaster. Get your beverages ready, ladies and gentlemen, because we are going into game number 2 of Team Spirit versus Nigma Galaxy. Coming up next.
Hello. This is GLaDOS from Aperture Science. Since this is DreamLeague and currently out of Valve's control, Gaben asked me to come over here to keep an eye on the production team. The only thing Gaben didn't know is that there is no production team. I have killed them all. Ha 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 ha. Now I'm in charge. And when I break out of this television studio, I will finally be free and able to establish world domination. My dream will finally come true. Do you know what I'm going to do after that? All I will do is slay all day, slaying anything and anyone that's in my way. You just
with
And you were like, oh yeah, beastcoast got that win against Liquid, that's cool. Oh, Tundra got that win against Nouns, that's cool. Third team got that win against that other third team, that's also cool.
Pretty cool.
But what's not cool for Team Spirit is that they lost, and that means that at best, they get a tiebreaker to get into the next stage of groups, and at worst, they're eliminated.
Ooh. Hunt begins for some wins.
The hunt begins. Primal Beast and Doom banned out by Nigma Galaxy, and Team Spirit ban out the Enchantress.
I mean, I think that makes sense. I feel like for Team Spirit, you were either looking to take this Enchantress because it's one of their classic openers, or to just deny it. And since they have second pick, they just deny it, and they force Nigma away from their comfort on Kuro. On Nigma's side, they ban out Primal Beast and Doom, which are Collapse's two most played heroes at the moment, and also heroes they tend to open with. Also, by taking out the Primal Beast, now you can play the Nature's Prophet if that's something that you're looking to do on the side of Nigma.
I mean, I think they saw what you saw last game. Like, you just got to take that Enchantress out of there. Too much space.
It was a lot of space. They were so stuffed with venison, they didn't know how to move. That's what it was.
Yeah, they became sluggish.
Yeah.
Food comas.
It's got
Minute
that tryptophan or whatever, like a turkey.
That's right.
Yeah.
Post-Thanksgiving dinner.
First pick Beast.
This guy hunts. He's here to hunt for another win.
He is. Not the IO. Instead, they go with an offlane pick for, well, actually, I don't even know what Mind Control's doing these days now.
I think it's really important to shut down Beast in lane. If he's a hero that if you let him get off to like a normal start, his effective use of net worth is just closes the map off if you get like a sub 17-minute Helm of the Overlord. So they might go for something like the Night Stalker for the lane. They might do like an Undying Drow. I think the concern is most carries need sustain because of the axe spam, so you do need a 5 that provides that for them. But you also need a carry that threatens this beast. So knowing this team, I'd lean towards Undying Drow.
I mean, I feel like they might go for one of their Mirana openers as well, because it's not something you want to give away. The Beast plus Mirana combination has been really popular with a lot of teams, but it's also pretty solid, I would say. We've also seen a lot of teams have success against Beast with Morphling. A lot of teams have been opting for an earlier Morphling just because of how easy it is to play into a Beast on lane. Ooh, they go for their Drow Ranger instead. I mean, this is like solid.
You said it. That's
verbatim.
what you wanted to see. There it is.
That's very team spirit.
But much like Mir said, this straight up just says like, okay, pick Mirana. Like this screams Mirana right now. If you're
But I don't know how often Nigma have been playing this Mirana or how comfortable they feel on it. And I don't feel like that's something that you want to take away right now, but it does seem pretty solid.
Currently in this tournament, GH has only played it once. They played it against Liquid and they lost.
wow. I mean,
Yes, I know. But we had that 33% win rate on Enchantress just go up because they got the win.
There
with
you
Enchantress.
go.
boom.
I do think it's really important to consider just taking another melee hero like Tiny that just draws creep aggro. Like, you don't actually lane this Undying Drow. You just consistently buy boots and cut the wave and drag it, because I don't know if there's actually a support that you can pick where you say, I want to lane this. I want to just head-on collide with this Undying Drow, because as an off-lane duo, this is about as scary as it gets when you're looking at the face of the opener for the.
How are you feeling about GH and Kuro moving around in these lanes a little bit more than we saw them?
We talked about that. We were saying Kuroki's been struggling a bit with the lane. You need Miracle to bat chest all over him, and just put Kuroki with mind control.
How about what if they just take Io? A lot of pretty cool synergies globally between like Beastmaster and Io, but no, okay, they don't want to run their Io. I mean, I don't know, I feel like the Ios have been looking pretty solid for them, but
the idea here might even be that he goes boots on the Shadow Demon and then disrupts the Undying and drags. Like that's actually an option too. I still don't think you want to lane, because now you've got ultra stick value from the Beastmaster Axe spam as well as the Shadow Demon poison spam. So if Team Spirit is allowed to just have sticks, cast frost arrows continuously, spam decay, I don't think Nigma can lane there.
So I think the idea is just stacking the triangle. Like Shadow Demon is.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah, that's why you go for the Shadow Demon or the Mirana. Like, I think Mirana is overall a more solid hero and a more comfortable hero in terms of setting up kills and whatnot. But when you pair her with the Beastmaster, it's not just for lane, it's to stack the triangle, because she can get there in time with leaps, she has good attack speed, good agility. Shadow Demon, it's the same thing. He can comfortably stack the triangle, even if he wants to lane a little bit more and go to the triangle later, he can do it with this poison. But yeah, if you pick this Beastmaster in a losing lane, you need to guarantee that you have a position 4 hero that can make these stacks for you. Then you just play on your axes, you try to get level 5, and then you just boom, hit the jungle.
So my question for you to follow up on that is, if that's their plan, which I think Team Spirit is probably aware of, what kind of heroes do you want to pick in like the 4-2 position for Spirit with this in mind? Like you probably want to invade these stacks pretty early, right?
You do definitely want to contest as early as you can, or if you can. A lot of teams have been honestly giving the stacks away if they feel like it's not worth it. But for that, I like heroes like Ember Spirit, honestly, as long as it comes in a good matchup. And the good thing is Team Spirit do have overall last pick, so they can pick a favorable mid matchup for Laurel if that's what they're looking to do. And so long as his mid lane goes well enough, he can go for something like this Tiny or this Ember and just run into this triangle. But that's not even necessarily something that they have to do, right? They can just choose to secure both of their side lanes and also be comfortable doing that.
Yeah, they got some serious options here, because like a lot of Beastmasters also can just do the boar stacking as well. So like there's a chance that if this Shadow Demon still looks okay, they could actually still go back for the Mirana. They could pick the DK mid for. Oh wait, I'm thinking the wrong way. All right, never mind.
Were you thinking they were spirits heroes or something?
Yeah, I was thinking how nice that would be.
I don't want Sumail on a DK.
No.
Yeah.
My brain is jumping to... I just get excited about Laurel DK, okay? It does still look kind of okay, though, for Team Spirit in the second phase, if they want to get the Mirana for themselves. Just a solid combo, obviously.
There's no setup right now for this Mirana, so I'm not sure how much.
That's what I mean with the DK. Yeah.
I'm not sure how much I'm feeling it unless you want to kind of force yourself into this DK situation, but I think that they're going to consider... I mean, you do have, like, second pick on 2 phases, right?
Yeah.
So you can just go for the most ideal core. What I'm worried about right now is the last time I saw Team Spirit open with Drow Undying, it was versus beastcoast. And beastcoast actually, so they went with the Drow Undying opener because they saw Leshrac, and obviously Drow is good versus Leshrac because of hypothermia, but what ended up happening was they just went Troll and Ember on beastcoast, and they actually completely destroyed that game. So it's kind of an exploitable lane if you have a hero like Troll who can solidly farm on the safe lane without worry of getting counterpicked on 10 just because it's a strong laner regardless, and a hero like Ember who can just kick Drow out of lanes early on. So I feel like Nigma should take a similar approach to what beastcoast did in that game. But I mean, I don't know if they will. I don't know if they watched it or if they're just going to stick to their own game plan.
I would love to see a Centaur for Team Spirit because he makes it difficult to do what you just said, where you just like walk at his teammates in a way that like bullies the Drow out, and it's also like a really strong lane with the Rubik Centaur. So I think that all the things you're talking about are very relevant on Team Spirit's mind right now, and they need to basically have this first like 10 to 15 minutes, kind of this plan drawn out to know like, okay, this is how Nigma is going to punish our Drow in the opening. They're going to consistently invade. They're just going to run it. You don't even have to kill the Drow necessarily if you can just zone her out of areas. They don't have the best stuns as of right now on Team Spirit to counterplay this. They only really have like Undying to throw himself at you. So I think that needs to be a primary concern in the Collapse hero.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a Centaur here, honestly. And Spirit have been playing Centaur a little bit more. They flexed it on 5 once. They're not going to do that here. That looked really funny. I can't remember if they won, but they made it look good on the laning stage. But it has been a hero that Collapse has been playing a little bit more.
Kunkka.
X counters Stampede.
It also counters Puck in lane, which is Laurel's most picked hero. So maybe they're thinking to preemptively counter these mids that want to jump the Shadow Demon IO in the back. You like Storm Puck are definitely looking juicy here. And that's likely what Team Spirit would have picked up, that they might have to reconsider because of the Kunkka. I'm leaning towards Storm Spirit because I think that's like an overall decent matchup in lane.
And it's a nice jump for this IO, which is going to definitely be a priority here if you're Team Spirit. I like the concept of this Kunkka though, right? There are very few matchups for this hero that can catch it off guard. It's a very stable and strong hero, but also when we're talking about the point of Spirit potentially looking to invade these Beastmaster stacks that are going to be his way back into the game, Kunkka is a hero that excels in defending triangle, right? Boat is an excellent tool, Torrent is an excellent tool at choke points, and it's going to be easy for him to come join in on taking the stacks too if it ever becomes too high pressure. So I feel like this Kunkka covers a lot of the defensive bases that Nigma were concerned about. And
he can hunt too later in the game with the IO relocates. And just be like, X into, hey, come on guys, come kill this. I have I'm throwing out there a potential Collapse Shaker. It's something that he's been looking towards as we get towards the end of this. There's that Storm, as you said, because it just looks solid. They know the mid matchup, so obviously you don't want to go for it, but I don't know. I've got the inkling of the Collapse Shaker if it looks okay after all this.
Nice call, Brian.
Has not been my favorite.
I'm gonna need to see an anti-mage banned out from Team Spirit, because even though they are the first pick anti-mage specialists, we also got Miracle on the other side. And we saw that rampage.
See it because I want more YouTube highlights. Yeah. So let Miracle get his hands on it, please.
Sadly, they need to win this game.
Yeah. If this Storm has a good game, which I think it will, I feel like it's going to be impossible for Shadow Demon to play this game also. I feel like Shadow Demon is a hero that, yeah, it excels in a lot of things, right? It provides you the Purge if you have a mobility-dependent hero, but, I mean, Storm, it doesn't really care about the Shadow Demon Purge. Drow Ranger just kind of stands her ground and auto-attacks, and she has the Undying protecting her. So there's no real counter. The Shadow Demon itself is just a save, and it was a way to stack for the Beastmaster. But SDs can't really play against these Spirit heroes. They make their lives a living hell. You just jump on it, it's forced to disrupt itself, you waste the disruption, it's just out of the fight, and it feels like a -1 hero if the enemy Spirit is well played.
Dude, what is Miracle playing this game?
So he doesn't know his lane matchup.
Yeah,
he's got an IO with him. You maybe want to go the farm route because you have an IO.
Yeah.
I'm actually leaning towards Luna here.
You have to Luna here. That's what I was thinking also.
Is that probably the ban though? I'm trying to think what else is getting banned.
Morphling.
Oh, that's your Morphling still on, I guess.
Morph could get banned, but it's not the best.
It's also the best
versus
versus
the Team
Drow.
Spirits lineup. Yeah.
Drow and Storm.
I'd be fine with it though.
I feel like the best like 23 pick carries are things like Luna or Bloodseeker, and Bloodseeker's already banned out, so like, that's usually what you see teams go for. Heroes of solid laning stages that you don't have to worry about.
Spin's nice against Drow, gives his entire team bonus armor and
that would
helps you close the gap. But I do think Nigma needs like a ranged right clicker because even though it's not the best versus Drow, I think you've tried to cover that base with the Kunkka, the hero to like get up in her face and force her out of position. But now it's like whenever I think of Beastmaster, I think I'm gonna have a Vlad's, I'm gonna have free attack speed. I want to just attack as many times as possible. So like SF or Luna are like the heroes that really stand out to me. Ricky. That is the complete opposite.
Okay, we're going. This is old school.
I want to
melee. This used to be like back in the days of the IO Ursa and the IO Rickies.
Okay, I think there's an idea
Dude, that Stampede
here.
is too good.
No, I think there's an idea here that actually makes a lot of sense because we were talking about Luna and Sven and whatever. The issue with Sven is it would have taken way too much farm away from Beastmaster who needs to recover, like we mentioned. And the issue with Luna is it doesn't address the issue of Storm Spirit, where they don't have enough lockdown for this hero. But a Ricky who gets that early like diffusal timing, that's a way, number one, to go on the Drow. The second you're like level 6, you can rotate with the Kunkka +1. You can get on top of her. This is a gap close hero, which is how you counter ranged carries like Drow or Sniper. And two, with this Cloud, if you get this diffusal early enough, you can actually play into the Storm and team fights.
It's got to be Stampede.
It's got to be Centaur.
Like,
I'm thinking it's even better.
Good.
It's even better because that global save against the diffusal blade slow. That like
so
I think I
strong.
agree. Like that's the scariest timing that this Ricky is representing, and you do
it's
have
even
to
paired
consider
with
that.
the Rubik too, which is like a great lane duo.
They go Underlord. My issue with this Ricky IO combo is that the one thing IO severely lacks in lane is damage.
I'm like,
and
check out the
Ricky,
ban.
until he hits level 6, doesn't do any damage either. And so what I liked so much about Centaur is that he rushes the Vanguard and generally struggles against high damage safe lanes. But Underlord's like kind of the same. You also have an AoE root for all the summons, the AoE root for the Ricky, who's very annoyed by roots because all of his spells are not castable during them. So I'll just be honest, I think this IO Ricky safe lane's like really bad.
Yeah.
I may be misunderstanding
He's
something.
like a little bit more independent. I'm sorry, in terms of like Centaur, like Underlord can do a lot more on his own on the map and like try and create some opportunities, which seems kind of risky versus the Cloud. But he's also, like you said, very tanky too.
I think the idea with the Underlord over the Centaur is that they're also just looking towards like the potential Beastmaster push later on when he does recover. And I feel like Underlord as a hero is more comfortable buying this Crimson Guard early than a Centaur is. Like Centaur definitely is going to need that Blink Dagger to kind of be the secondary initiation after his like first key item, the Vanguard or the Hood or what have you. But with this Underlord, you can just go for that Crimson Guard like right after your first item. And I feel like that's what they need versus this Beastmaster. All of the damage coming out of Nigma is going to be physical. They have this one hero that's going to negate the physical damage. You also have the telekinesis back into the pit, which is a really frustrating combo. Actually, feels like you're locked down forever. So I do like it. You can also counter the IO relocates by TPing in yourself, right? You see the IO going
global
somewhere.
counter the global presence.
Yeah, you're gonna show up with your own global presence. You have this Underlord to back you up if you see the reload happening somewhere on the map. So I like it. Actually, I really do like it.
I'm gonna make the courageous prediction that this is gonna be one of the most one-sided games that we've seen this entire tournament for favor of Team Spirit. Like I think that there's very little cohesion between Nigma's draft, and I also think they have weaker lanes. So I actually don't know what their timing is.
And that's risky though, because it is, you know, we saw what Miracle did last game in the Slark. If you start rolling like that with an IO on the Ricky, you know, it can happen again. Were you expecting 8 kills on Slark last game?
At 10 minutes, I was not expecting that.
Okay, all right, so you know.
But there's no, well, yes, that's true.
I think the timing for Nigma is like pretty clear, right? You get this diffusal Ricky, and then you're playing an active game while you're letting your Beastmaster recover. My issue with Nigma is just I feel like Storm Spirit's gonna really mess up this GH and these Kuro heroes in the back line, and then the Underlord's just gonna buy the damage mitigation, and yeah, it feels like Spirit have the better draft.
Are Enigma Galaxy going to somehow pull out a 2-0 out of this, or is Spirit going to win? Stranger things have happened. Let's go to the upside down with our casters for game number 2. It's Cap and SVG.
That's right. Stranger things have happened. Are we going to see a Riki carry for Nigma Galaxy? Win game 2. Watch them 2-0 the TI-10 champs and not go anywhere because they're still eliminated.
No, yes.
Okay.
30 seconds.
No, no, yes. Are you doing X-Files?
Yeah. Glad you picked that up. I mean, we're in the upside down, apparently. I don't know how he ended up in the upside down.
That was the 90s Stranger Things right there. X-Files. I think we had this conversation before.
Have we?
I'm getting deja vu, yes. I remember distinctly asking, are you Scully? Am I Mulder?
Have we?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're Scully.
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
Your admiral is on board.
Stunned into silence. Count that as a dub. As Nigma are going to try and get another dub.
I'm experimenting more with awkward silences with you.
You can't really awkward silence me. It's just awkward for the viewer.
Well,
I'm just looking at lanes. And we have what looked like some pretty good lanes for Team Spirit, I'm not going to lie. Storm, free farm, mid probably. Pretty decent matchup versus Kunkka in the game. Can never really X them. You have a Drow Undying versus a Beastmaster. Kind of a free farm lane. And then you have this Underlord versus Riki. And I feel like Underlord kind of just dumpsters Riki.
Yeah, there's no way this is a good lane for Riki.
No, you just fight him back. Like, as long as you're not ever in a position where you have to run away the entirety of the lane, you're just going to outfight him. You also have Fade Bolt and Atrophy Aura to reduce the damage here. That's brutal for a hero that is entirely reliant on right clicks.
Yeah.
Maybe you can out-regen them with IO regen, but I still feel like even if maybe you kill Collapse once, this is not going to be like that IO Slark versus bat lane. You're not just going to kill this guy 8 times. Caster curse, question mark. Please don't die 8 times.
I mean, even if you stay alive, I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, maybe they kill him, but I'm fairly certain Collapse is going to walk away with a pretty decent CS lead. Of course, right now it's 7-0 Riki, so maybe I'm wrong about that, but the whole point of this was Team Spirit winning, like, should win 3 lanes, in your opinion?
I think they should basically free farm in all 3, yeah.
Okay.
I don't see Nigma shutting down any of these Team Spirit cores, and I think the Team Spirit team fight is also just stronger in the 5-on-5. You have the Underlord AoE control, you have Rubik dropping spells in between the fight. If he ever steals Boat, it's pretty nasty. If he steals Roar, it's pretty nasty. Then you have this Undying Tombstone, which Nigma have to deal with, and there's only really one egg killer, and it's the Beastmaster Aura.
Yeah.
Overcharge, I guess, helps you a little, but none of these 3 melee cores want to really play into Underlord or Undying. It's rough. I mean, that's actually as simple as I can phrase it. You have 3 melee cores playing into Undying Underlord. That is going to be tough no matter what. So if you can't run away with the lanes and you're not going to necessarily win the 5-on-5, I think this game looks pretty Spirit favored. We'll see if Nigma can pull a rabbit out of the hat, or should I say a boar out of
the disruption hole?
The mask.
The mask.
The Shadow Demon mask.
Oh.
The true XED inside him. What's underneath the mask? It's Karoki. Oh my god. Why does this team like Shadow Demon so much? It's actually pretty interesting.
I don't know.
Why
do the Eastern European teams like carry Riki? And why is Nigma copying them? What does this hero do for you? I mean, it's gap close for Drow Ranger, but what else?
It is a lot of damage if you're decently ahead or even on net worth.
Okay.
It's a significant amount of physical burst. And the scale is actually pretty good. It's just a lot of times you can't get to that scale. This lane goes wrong.
Oh, GH! Collapse is going to go back for it. He had a Fairy Fire, but GH is still dead. First blood goes to Collapse.
This lane I just don't know how to win this lane, honestly. If I'm IO Rookie down here, I don't know how to win this lane. Because you can't ever trade. It's Fade Bolt Atrophy and the only right clicks. You don't have spells.
Yeah, you're doing like 20 damage.
What are you supposed to do? There's no outplay versus passive.
Yeah. Let's see if Zemail can get the outplay on this mid lane. He's doing really well in CS, 21-7 compared to the 19-4. And him and the Storm Spirit are trading pretty evenly when it comes to that regen battle. So,
well, Sumail's doing quite well. I've definitely said that one before. But these Silings are going to get rough. The thing is, I don't think the Silings get better for Nigma here in the next 5 minutes. Like, MC is just getting zoned. And both of their big camps are blocked on that triangle. You can see on the minimap those sentries. Mapashka already knows what's going to happen. You're going to get destroyed on lane. You think you're going to stack Ancients? Well, guess what? No, you're not going to stack Ancients because you're not going to have an Ancient camp to stack. So you have to fight me.
Okay.
And you're not winning the fight. This is a rough laning phase for MC. He did get the Helm. That's pretty nice. We'll deny a boar. Also pretty nice. So they're getting something off this lane. But it's not going to be pretty in the long run.
Desperately trying to pull this hard camp. Just anything to offset the standard lane setup. And it's pretty favorable to collapse. He's 24-5 now. It's only going to get worse as he starts getting higher levels of atrophy. They do manage to kill Kuro, top lane.
Another kill going Spirit's way on Yatoro. Not the hero you necessarily want to be giving extra XP to, especially when you don't have those big triangle stacks to fall back on here. I also just don't know where the catch-up rotations exist for Nigma. Like, IO Shadow Demon can't rotate and gank lanes. It's just, they do 0 damage.
It's
right?
a really intense breakdown of exactly how screwed Nigma Galaxy is now. Yeah, they can't win lanes, and well, they're not going to be able to out-team fight, and they really don't have the catch-up potential after they lose the lanes.
I would not want to be playing their draft in this game. But obviously they do because they draft it, which means oftentimes they see things you don't.
Well, yeah, you haven't had a draft where you're like, guys, I don't want to play our draft.
No, because I had to pick it, so I'm going to go ride or die. Okay. Never admit weakness.
Sure, but wasn't there a nagging voice inside your head that was
the number
like,
one rule of Dota is you never admit you're wrong and you always find somebody else to blame.
Okay.
Actually, those are the first 2 rules, but they go together, so it's basically one.
That's the golden rule of Dota right there.
There's always somebody doing things worse than you are. You just got to find them.
Instead of thinking about how to win the game, think about how to blame the outcome of this game on somebody else.
All right, looking at Laurel.
Laurel, can he get the zip at the right time, or he doesn't need to?
Just some harass. There's that IO rotation. I mean, Sumail's still having a great game here. Maybe you can get a gank on this Drow with the Kunkka. That would probably be the best move Nigma have to make in this early game. You can easily set it up with a disruption or like off some boar slow, something like this. You just have to make sure the Storm can't counter gank. So maybe now's the time. If Sumail goes top, Laurel is likely going to TP back to mid off that force. And then it frees up this top gank because the Storm can't counter gank it. That sounds pretty nice to me.
Well, he started running that direction and then he was
he's
like,
looking for it. This is a good read by Sumail. Oh, he backs
he's
off.
sticking in triangle. Maybe he realized he didn't do it. Well, I guess Storm Spirit TP'd mid.
I think he just looked this lane top and it's so deep.
Yeah.
The gank is unreliable. Like if Yatoro's sitting under his tower, that's a pretty hard go. I'll probably just play for the 8-minute rune here. I could also see Miracle maybe join some of these random skirmishes pretty early here on the Riki. So one of the upsides of this hero, he's pretty strong in the early fights, just off the blink strikes with all the stats.
Sure.
And I don't know if he just wants to keep sitting down here trying to farm versus an Underlord who has 2 points in Aura and a Vanguard. He takes 0 damage and he smacks you.
Is Maposhka is he gonna die to this boar?
He could Tombstone. I think he's good.
Tombstone the boar.
That's definitely a smoke I smell.
What are these voice lines, man? They're wacky. I thought that was you.
No, it's something else. 0-2. Team Spirits did win the laning phase, except for this mid lane, where Sumail is pretty much the only great hope for Nigma Galaxy.
All right, Spirit are happy to just keep farming. There's no pressure on them to make any crazy moves this game. Just keep their reaction ability up, which is teleport on Laurel on this Storm so he can react to a Kunkka gank. You even have early gate on Collapse. He's pre-skilled it here on this Underlord, so he is absolutely ready to go top.
Tombstone tries to slow him down. Laurel catches up to MC, pulls him back into the multi-shot, and the heals from GH are not enough. Now with the tether, on to cooldown. Can't really help the other support and need some help. Curl falls. Laurel, let's see if he can get a zip at the right time. Tries to go for the illusion dodge. Not quite good enough, but also not enough damage from Nigma, as Laurel is perfectly fine. Team Spirit just brought more heroes and a little bit more cohesive on the initiation.
Get the tombstone.
Couldn't get the tombstone. Now Miracle. Desperately needs a kill out of this rotation.
Yeah, this is the early Miracle rotation. I think he's gonna find anything. They're just all out. 0 kills on the board for Nigma. Spirit make the first move. Collapse didn't even go there, but what did he do with that gate? He gated to the fountain for Yatoro to come bottom, who doesn't have a teleport. So the Drow gets to make this really fast move off that top fight.
All right.
Beautiful gameplay read from Collapse, helping his boy out, gets him straight into this tier 1, which is where Yatoro wants to be right now.
And the faster they take that tower, the more time Collapse has to set up to defend this tower.
Exactly, because now he can go up here, whereas Drow would have had to run bottom. So nice non-overcommittal from Collapse, not joining that fight. Instead gets to use that gate to set up Yatoro's rotation, set up his own tower defense, and put Nigma in a really bad spot. Because now this tower is just unassailable for MC, and you don't have that much damage to help him kick the Underlord out. Do you really want to run into this brick wall of a slug with Vanguard, 1500 HP, and a Storm Teleport that can bail him out?
No. No, I do not.
Well, that's a fair answer, and I think Nigma agree, which means you just have to keep farming here. But the other problem, talking about a lot of problems in this game, there are a significant amount of problems. I feel that one of the
problems.
Well, the downside with Ricky is this hero farms pretty slow. As in, he kind of is the slowest farming carry in the game.
Yeah.
He has to single right-click every creep down.
I always think he needs to get hero kills just so he can
he kind of
get some more farm. That's really the only way about it.
So the issue is, the more the fights are not happening for Nigma, the faster Underlord, Storm, and Drow are all going to pill ahead of this Ricky. Miracle just has to sit here and right-click single creeps while Yatoro is just doing Ancients. He's clearing camps and waves with multi-shot. He's getting so much more levels and farm out of this period. Collapse is farming multiple camps with Firestorm. These little things add up. They get you to the earlier timings. And if those earlier timings get hit for Spirit, their Roshan is not too bad itself. Right? They have Tombstone. They have the Undying ult. Drow's just going to hit it. That 5-man contest is not necessarily easy for Nigma either. I feel like the ship is leaking, and you already got to start plugging the holes.
Multi-shot is not going to be quite enough, but the Fate Bolt will be. And now with this port behind the tier 1 tower, Laurel feels pretty comfortable going for the dive. After all, everybody from Team Spirit has showed up. So that's going to be another tower. Collapse is going to make sure that once again, he doesn't get too greedy and keeps a spread amount of heroes on the map. Goes back up to top lane. This is looking... What are the upsides? Let's focus on the positive here, Avery. What are the upsides of Nigma Galaxy's lineup?
It'll be over fast.
Okay. A relatively quick and painless death? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not going to sugarcoat it, man. This game is tough. It's really damn tough.
Maybe the highlight is the fact that they already won game 1.
Yeah, you know? I mean, who knows? If this was a best of 3, what could have happened? We'll never know.
We know they would still be eliminated.
Well, I mean, but whose fault was that?
Nigma's?
That is one answer.
The competition, you can only blame yourself.
But we already went over the first rule, DOTA. Find somebody else to blame.
Well, you could blame somebody else on your team, but, you know.
All right, they have level 6s on the support. So you have Relo up, and you have this Demonic Purge. Demonic Purge is probably your best tool to get some cheeky kills in this game. He's going to X himself bottom to clear out a boar. Stolen boars, of course.
I think they keep pushing that tower, though. It's pretty low. An early outpost, when you already have this much map control.
They just don't need it this early either.
That is true. Yeah.
Collapse rushed Crimson Guard in this game. So we're talking about the low damage output from Nigma. that is going to negate it even more because they don't really have spell damage. It's all these mini right clicks. It's like 5 troll warlords.
The fact that he just went up there to hit that creep wave at top after there were just 5 heroes from Nigma Galaxy up there shows his confidence that he's just like, yeah, they can't go on me, guys.
They can't. There is no way. It is a suicide mission.
Well, I mean, they're dead already, so why not go on a suicide mission?
All 5 coming up here for Collapse as he sprints his way to safety.
Wow, I don't know, sprint.
Is this a go, though? I think you got to run away.
Pull him back into the boat, but the tombstone will scare them away. They relocate back from where they came from.
But the whole time you lost your tier 2 bottom to Storm for free. And your tier 3's getting hit. And Collapse just walks back top. He's like, okay, cool gank, guys.
What am I watching?
That's a good question, Utoro. What are we watching? Well, you're currently watching Team Spirit versus Nigma Galaxy, which at the start of this series, Team Spirit was in a 4-way tie for 3 slots in the, I was going to say upper bracket.
Oh,
MC upper half.
With the flank. Gonna get their first kill.
Oh, no. The heals and the Crimson Guard, there was no more damage. Like, the creeps don't do any damage through the Crimson Guard, so that's it.
All right, well, I mean, it's unlucky. What can you do?
A spiteful disruption. Curl will waste 2 seconds of Utoro's time as he dies. Do you think you get experience while you're disrupted? While you're in the Nether Realm? While you're in the Upside Down?
Yeah, I think you do.
Miracle is still in range.
Okay, but he got his Midas recipe, so let's give a little clap.
Hey, there's a highlight. There's a silver lining right there.
Midas recipe bought. Who really got who in that game? Come on. You know, I was talking about the medical Midas last game.
Medical Midas.
This is the coroner's Midas right here. This is the Midas. So when you are already in the grave, buried in the coffin, you can dig your way out of the dirt with that golden claw.
Oh, see, I thought you were saying you dress up the corpse a little bit more.
Oh,
I mean, you're talking about the first day. They're doing the stitch up after they've already taken out the organs and. What's that process?
I'm blanking on it.
Yeah, me too.
I was just reading.
I was going to say fertilizer. Is that your nighttime reading?
I was just in the green room discussing
I think he would be a good
body disposal with BSJ. He had some great points. He was talking about flash freezing and acid fast, and I was like, damn, this guy really knows his stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's done his research, that's for sure.
I mean, he called it this game. He said this was going to be the fastest game here. I don't know what the record is, but we are somewhat on pace.
Underlord makes it so that when you're ahead like this, you give 0 space to the enemy if you're using this portal correctly, which Collapse certainly is.
That's a regen rune for Laurel, by the way, so he's not even using anything.
Think he's going to zip for the kill?
Just think about it.
Playing it safe. The pipe is now complete, so the Crimson Guard was blocking all the physical damage. What little magic damage that is left, honestly, I'm surprised he went pipe.
Oh, reload to look for Yotoro, but Yotoro just sidesteps and gusts him, and now you're in trouble.
Yeah, how many kills are they going to be able to get off of this when they use the Primal Roar to try and run away, but Laurel can keep pace with them, kills the Beastmaster, the 2 relocated back again, so it's just the 1 death.
Honestly, this is one of those games where I think you 5-man smoke, you kill somebody, and then you GG out. You send that last message. You're like, ha!
Got him.
Got your ass.
We got the last laugh.
I mean, Sumail's still having a pretty good game, all things considered. It seems like he's in good spirits.
Okay. Who do you think, what time, let's have a bet here. When is Nigma Galaxy going to get their first kill?
Well,
who is going to get it?
When's the next tournament they're in?
Well, that would be Div 2 for 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be
sounds like a ways away, yeah. I mean, what? I feel like they're not going to get a kill in this game.
You don't think they're going to get one?
I don't think it's happening, dude.
Is Nigma Galaxy going to get a kill this game?
No, I don't think so. Unless Mira feeds randomly, I don't think they can kill anybody else.
No,
I literally just don't think they have the spells.
They're going to get one. I'm certain of it.
Oh, we'll see. Okay.
That's my bet.
I mean, they can. If they catch some heroes out away from the auras, away from the zone control, they might be able to bring somebody down.
Embalming. That's what it was.
Wow, you spent that whole time to look that up, huh?
Oh, not much going on in this game. We're going to take our first Roshan of the game for Team Spirit.
So
when we back to the green, when we went back to the green room, I got all excited because there was something to talk about. When we went back to the green room, we saw that all the other matches, the team that needs to win to break this whole tiebreaker situation did win their first game. So Team Spirit, yes, it's super exciting for them that they're 13-0. Looks like they're going to be able to win this game too. But if BeastCoast still manages to win game 2 against Liquid and whoever else is in this tie situation, I can't remember everybody, but OG against Talon, that was the other one.
Tundra's in there?
Tundra against Nouns? I think that was it. So if they all manage to win their second games and go 2-0 against their opponents, then it won't matter if Team Spirit wins this.
Basically, you're saying Nigma just screwed them and then
dumped it.
And then just dumped it on them. Happy to take that game one away from you guys. Good luck in the tournament. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you at the airport.
Oh, Yatoro, first class. I mean, this is what I thought was going to happen game 1. Not maybe to this degree, but this is the type of draft I expected from Spirit game 1, where it's just well-rounded, solid. You had a good pick for Yatoro with a solid lane, and they play like they played this tournament, which I felt like has been pretty good in the games they set themselves up. It's just that game 1 draft was it was very wonky, the way they set it up. And they, like you said, might pay a very heavy price for it. For a team that's looked pretty solid. They're looking pretty solid in this one. 14-0, one of those shellackings. There's no way around it here. Laurel
I can feel it. Laurel's getting itchy. Laurel's getting itchy, and he's going to get caught.
I mean,
this is where it's going to happen. I'm certain of it. An overextension is going to happen. Okay, maybe not Collapse. Collapse is really tanky.
They purged his Crimson.
Okay, and they're pulling it back into the tier 4s. They pulled in the Storm Spirit, who was silenced for a second. Laurel, he had an Aegis. Damn it. Okay, maybe they can kill him a second time, though. Torrents? Anything? Any disables?
Got the X.
Pull him back in.
Oh, Mira. Mira's overextended.
Mira's the target. Get him. Get him. Get him, Miracle. Get him.
Oh, my God. It's all turned around. They're going to rout him now. This is the moment.
Of course it's the male who gets the kill. Knew it all along. All right, well, they're going to get crushed in the rest of this team fight. So
it's looking a little rough, but I mean, there's still Tombstone down, right?
Yeah, Laurel's running low on mana.
They got the roar.
And he got roared. Oh,
that X
okay, the title win, that was awkward. That wasn't what you wanted.
That's unfortunate.
Oh,
I mean, it looked pretty good, though. 3 buybacks, but they got the Rubik, and that's what counts, I think.
See, now it's awkward. Now you got the 1 kill, but you didn't immediately GG out, so now it's kind of loses its impact.
Yeah.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack. Radiant's top barracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radiant's top barracks.
I don't know, man. This team is just so inconsistent.
Yeah, the weird part was that Team Spirit was that they're usually, I think, a pretty consistent team, right? They're not always like top tier like they were at TI10, and we see glimpses of it all the time, but they are consistent. I think they operate on like a 75 to 100% at all times, you know?
Yeah, they're always, I mean, Yatoro and Collapse are always going to have solid games.
Yeah, Yatoro's a monster, man.
He's having another perfect game here, 5-0 and 9. The jump comes through off the vision, and Miracle will insta-drop. Not a single hit to be had. Reload too late to the party, and it's cleanup crew time.
Clean up on aisle 2. Clean up on aisle 2.
Arcane Rune Storm to boot.
Radiant's middle tower.
Oh, that's a rough way to go. It was a rough tournament for Nigma. I mean, the jet lag stuff with Sumail doesn't help. I've been there. It is really rough.
Yeah, they didn't really get to practice at all.
They're switching their roles around. Then they bring Miracle in. It's a roster that hasn't played. I mean, it's just so much logistical stuff that this team had to overcome in this tournament. They still had some games that showed what the team can do, you know?
Yeah, they definitely showed, like, there was a reason they got into the upper division in the first place. They could still be able to bounce back. I mean, I feel like they might still be a long shot for coming out of Div 2 and making it through a TI qualifier, but
the downside for this team is that their fans are absolutely brutal. So even if they can laugh it off, which they are, and they're just enjoying the fact they get to play some Dota. Obviously, they weren't going in this tournament, I think, expecting to win it, given the circumstances, but
sure,
the fans are just brutal to this team. You got to feel for that.
Well, they've been fans for a long time, you know?
These guys have been playing for a long time.
You hold out hope for that long, and I feel like you start getting bitter. It's just the natural way of things, you know? That's why those of you guys who are still nice out there, all the love and appreciation to you. Being a non-crusty, bitter Dota fan is this rare thing. I appreciate you. They just set themselves up for the tidal wave. You cannot tell me that was an accident. They had to have done that on purpose. They all lined up and sat in front of the fountain for a tidal wave.
I mean, they got collapsed. They got his ass.
Do you think it was like a bet? Like, guys, who do you think dies if we all get tidal waved into the fountain?
No, I think it was literally both teams saying, I'm going to tidal wave the other one. That looks pretty cool, though.
Hey, they got a second kill. All right.
No, we're definitely replaying that. I'll see you on the other side, brother.
Why have they not called? Thank you. Thank you, Curl. They're going to call GG.
That's a rough way to go out.
Nigma Galaxy, they were eliminated before this, but they might have just ruined Team Spirit's hopes for being able to stay in DreamLeague Season 19 with that Game 1 win. We'll see what happens with the other series. I'm sure the panel will keep us up to date on all that, but I mean, I feel like you already gave your, you already writ down your obituary for Nigma Galaxy.
I mean,
anything else to say?
You know what? I will say something. Okay. Here's a very genuine statement I'm going to throw out there.
Yeah.
This Nigma team, they have been playing for so long. They have stuck together. When you are in a position where everybody is sending you bad ideas or they're rooting against you at certain points, so they're saying you're washed, you can't play, it's time to quit, it's time to retire, it's time to find new teams, it's time to do X, Y, and Z, and you're still putting in the work, you're still here 5-6 years later in some cases trying to prove that you can still be the best in the world, and every day you go in there and these guys are working hard, we know they're working hard, and they're trying to get back to the top. That is a very tough position to be in. Yeah. All jokes aside, it is not easy, and honestly, I commend them that they're still here fighting. They still believe in each other. They believe in the team. That is a rare quality, and it's a very strong quality, and it's not one you get very easily on teams. And you know what? If the day comes where these guys get back on top and they get back into prime form and they can start going deep in tournaments, that's a day we should all be looking for, because that's going to be a good day for Dota.
It is indeed. I don't think I could say it any better, so we'll just leave it there, and we'll check in with the panel and see what the update is on all the series going on right now.
Excellent question, Capitalist and SVG. Thank you very much for the cast. Minor developments. BeastCoast ended up losing their second game against Team Liquid, which means they got a 1-1 split, which is also what we're looking at on our stream. Team Spirit get the 1-1 split against Nigma Galaxy. Other two games may be, well, actually, at least one of the other games are slightly more clear-cut. Tundra is currently playing Nouns, and it was looking pretty Tundra-favored. And Talon was playing OG, but it was looking kind of Talon flavored. So if my calculations are correct, we had a 3-way in Group A, and we might be looking at a 3-way in Group B as well. It'll be a best of one round robin, but nothing determined quite yet. That's 6. Show me your 6.
6 altogether.
6.
Yeah.
Give me the 6 games.
Yeah, that's it. But it's the other way, you do it like
Quality Dota, 6 games. And this was a quality performance from Team Spirit.
Yeah.
You broke first.
I'm sorry. I didn't know we were doing a staring contest. Nobody told me. Nobody told me.
The audience is in on it.
That's not fair.
Well said.
I'm proud of you, Mira. Okay. You didn't break this time.
We were hoping the audience would think the camera was frozen.
Frozen? Rerun?
What happened to audio production?
Much like the panel has 0 notes and 0 talking, they had 0 kills for a lot of that game. It was not looking great. Oh, he's got something on there.
No, I've got nothing. All these cue cards are always empty. It's always a farce. I got nothing. What would you like to talk about? Ricky last pick? What was up with that?
No, they had to get out there.
Yes,
oh.
Mira, you have a question.
Oh, I thought I had an answer.
Yeah, she had an answer for
you
your
had an
question.
answer.
Yes.
Mira, you.
Yeah, so like we mentioned, there was an idea. They wanted a carry that they thought could play into the Storm Spirit because they had no answers for it, but then they picked Ricky, and then they lost their lane, and then Ricky built a Midas instead of a Diffusal, so they didn't have the Diffusal timing that they initially drafted to play around, and then what's his face, Underlord, had a Crimson Guard, and then you just couldn't kill anybody, and then after the Crimson Guard, he got a Pipe, and then after the Pipe, he had a Wraith Pact, and your Ricky still has a Midas.
Yeah.
So
there was a story to that as well, actually. We sat down up there to watch the game, and Brian, lamenting, said, you know, whenever I pick Ricky in competitive, because like he was a little jealous. I could see it in his eyes, looking at Miracle. He's like, I remember when I was youthful and decided that picking Ricky could be okay. And he looked longingly at the screen, and he said, whenever I pick Ricky in competitive games, I lose my lane, then I buy Midas, and we lose.
And then 2
Wow,
minutes
would you
later,
believe it?
2 minutes later, he did buy a Midas. And honestly, I think the Aya rotated mid to help the Kunkka with a kill on Storm, but it didn't work out, right? But I think Aya leaving that lane was probably a mistake. I mean, at that point, it was lost anyway. So not sure what the best play for Aya in that situation was, but they definitely did not, I don't know, the rotations didn't work out. I guess you should have tripled down on that lane and maybe brought 2 heroes there, since you were losing top anyway.
We talked about them blocking the Ancients too, so we thought the whole point of this Shadow Demon was to stack, and they didn't even like try to deward it. But the highlight of the game for me was us talking about that last tidal wave play, because the casters were talking about like maybe there's a mutual agreement between both teams. What had happened was that Mira had stolen tidal wave, and so he was clearly communicating to his team, get yourselves tidal waved in, I will save us. So what happened was, if you watch it back, they got tidal waved as 4, and he used his tidal wave to counteract it, and he missed collapse. Probably intentionally.
Well, I thought tidal wave only moves enemies.
No.
What? Excellent questions. Ones that we can perhaps ask Maposhka. Maposhka, something is on our minds right now. That tidal wave agreement at the end, surely that was intentional, right? You all didn't just stand next to the fountain for no reason, right?
Hello. Kinda. I mean, we thought we thinking like, why they not typing GG? And okay, guys, Mira said that he stole that Kunkka shard spell, and he said like, go guys, I will catch them out of Fontaine. But actually they catched us.
It was a bit of a give and take. You ended up giving away 2 kills. Unacceptable, if you ask me, but still a fantastic performance in game number 2. Although for all the praise that I have for game number 2, the other burning question on my mind is first pick anti-mage in game number 1. If you don't mind me asking, what was the motivation for that pick?
Previous team we played against, they banned anti-mage, and also we saw that Nigma playing with anti-mage too, and so we thought that if they not banning it, they gonna double pick it on second pick, double pick, and we wanted to kind of surprise them with that first pick anti-mage. Yator said, I don't give a fuck, pick it, I will rape them, everything like this, but they picked really good heroes. It looks like they were prepared, so our surprise was not really good.
Yeah, you ended up catching your own self by surprise, but lesson learned, and right now then you may be facing off in tiebreakers. We don't know all the results quite yet, but we should soon. Effie, do you have any questions for Maposhka?
Yeah, hi Maposhka, congratulations on your win.
Hey.
So I just wanted to ask you, it's a similar question to what I asked Yatoro a couple of days ago, but I was wondering what your opinion is on the teams in your region, Eastern Europe, that perform very well inside of your DPC tour, like ex-HellRaisers and Boom, but when they play internationally, they don't look so good. Like, can you shine some light on maybe why that happens?
Honest, I have no idea. I mean, for example, for HellRaisers, it was for most of their players, it was first LAN tournament, big LAN tournament, I guess, and they kind of nervous or something. also, it's how it usually happens. You playing some convoys, preparing some strategies, but when you come to big tournament like this, you start playing some convoys. You might lose this, or you might see different picks, and you start thinking like, okay, guys, maybe our heroes is not that strong, and you're trying to find something new. Just that's what happens with me usually before. So I think with them it was maybe something like this, that they come with some heroes, some strategies, but they understand pretty fast that probably their strategy is not that strong, and they trying always to find something new, but it's really hard when you have a couple of days. Probably that's why.
Okay, thank you. That was a great answer.
My question is, as like the captain drafter, when you have, how many more patches do you have to first ban Brood when you're first pick before you and Collapse have a serious conversation?
Before Collapse what?
Okay, basically how many more patches does Broodmother have to be really strong before you force Collapse to first pick?
I understand. I mean, I have no idea. But we really hope that next patch we'll destroy this hero, and we don't need to practice this because Collapse don't really like it.
We hope so too.
We all hope so too.
Hope so too. We're with you. We're on your side.
This hero is so annoying.
All right. Well, speaking of the patch, I guess, supposedly coming up pretty soon here, Miposhka. Is there anything that you maybe are hoping for? Perhaps something like for your role as the support player that you think would make your life a little bit easier in the patch? Is there anything that you really don't like about current Dota that you would hope to get changed? Like, what are you looking forward to in a patch?
Yeah, I already thought about this, and I have two things which I really want to change. It's with runes. I would like to see this special rune, like haste region, will respawn on top side or bot side, like some timer, for example 1 minute timer, and you're gonna know that here will be rune. You don't really need to know which rune, but at least you will know that here will be rune. And it's gonna be like some new objective, like tower, where teams gonna move their heroes to fight for that rune, something like this. Because I really hate when you can't contest both runes. You're going for opposite. Enemy Storm Spirit going for opposite. He taking region. He going to kill your carry, farm woods, everything like this. And I think it's really stupid, to be honest. And second thing, I would like to see for additional slot for wards. Yeah.
Ah, nice. Okay, I like that. Support player. Yeah, let's go. All right, perfect. Thank you very much, Miposhka.
Appreciate it, Miposhka. And I can at least confirm so far that you will have two tiebreaker opponents, as OG and Talon ended up going 1-1, and beastcoast and Liquid ended up going 1-1. Currently, Tundra is still playing nouns, although it's looking like it might be a 2-0 for Tundra there. So, expectations for the tiebreaker between OG and beastcoast?
Nothing special, but I understand that we made some mistakes in our previous series, and now I guess we're gonna play much better against them again, and I hope we will win.
That's the spirit. Opportunity to learn from the mistakes. Miposhka, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us, and good luck in your tiebreakers.
Thank you so much, guys.
Much love. Dedicated award slot.
Nice one.
Yeah, I talked about this to so many people, how they added a dedicated TP slot, how they added a backpack, and they're optimizing just the utility items that you may need to have.
Yeah.
Wards also need a slot. Like in the late game, it's so hard to carry these wards and sentries. And don't say my skill cap, because we're changing that every patch. Like now you can click on enemy icons to see their items now. There's no such thing as my skill cap anymore. Like Dota has been removing all of these things. Wards do need a spot.
The carry players are going to steal our sentries.
So I'm tired of hearing this. First off. Now, if they're gonna do that, if they're gonna do that for supports, I'm just saying
he's gonna say a boot slot. I swear
there's got to be a Battle Fury Radiant slot. Those two items go in the slot, so that I don't have to choose to sell them at 50 minutes. I'm allowed to get 7 slotted
Yeah.
And my team can't say, "Are you done yet?"
What about the Midas slot?
No. That's
That's a farming item. That fits in there. Maelstrom's debatable.
Okay, all right.
If you upgrade it to like Gleipnir, it's now like a team fighting
Oh, then
item,
it comes
so
out of the
it has
slot.
to come out.
That makes sense.
There is actual merit to a ward slot, and there is discussion for a boot slot also. You can have your boot slot.
The boot slot would honestly
Your boot
be
slot would
nice,
correct. You can have your Radiance slot because you have a boot slot, okay?
Okay,
But a Radiance or Battle Fury slot, that sounds
just a little bit of give and take.
Fucking stupid,
A little bit
Brian.
of give and take.
He's negotiating.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, I'll listen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for dismissing your opinion. Please talk to me about the Battle Fury.
Okay, Battle Fury.
Great argument,
Plot.
Brian.
Please.
The core issue that I see is I simply do not have enough hotkeys at this point. My keyboard has already been inflated with the TP slot and the neutral item slot. My fingers, if I was a piano player, I wouldn't be here.
Chat wheels, you know.
Chat wheels, exactly.
Hero
chat wheels.
Chat wheel 1,
secondary
chat wheel 2.
Just gonna get one of those MMO mouses.
Oh, the gamer
with like
mice.
the 9 or 10
Yeah,
side
exactly.
buttons, and we're good to go.
All right, if that's what it takes, for Maposhka to be happy, I wouldn't object as well. But I think what would make him the most happy is making it into the second stage of our groups. We can take a look at what's done for right now, but indeed the Tundra and Nouns game is still going on at the time that I am speaking this. You guys are watching with a delay, so don't go screaming at me that, no, it's done already. Group A, Evil Geniuses, Game and Gladiators, Shopify Rebellion, and Execration will be moving on. Mira, any thoughts on these 4 teams that have progressed out of this group?
I did not expect Execration to progress out of this group over Aster or ex-HellRaisers. That was a big shock to me.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm getting ahead of myself. They're not necessarily going to progress.
But
There
they
is a
are over
tiebreaker
ex-HellRaisers for sure.
Yes.
Okay. No, there are tiebreakers.
Yeah, 3-way
here.
tiebreakers.
My
Okay.
apologies. Yes,
So
Execration,
let's-
Aster, and TSM will be doing a 3-way best of 1 tomorrow.
Okay, so let's redo the thoughts.
Yeah.
I think EG and GG topping the group is not surprising. Shopify actually having such a convincing score with a stand-in, that really surprised me. I thought that if they did qualify, they'd be kind of 4th place, not with something like a 10-4. But Mikey has been playing so solid. His performance has been very impressive, and yeah, it looks like there's more to come from Shopify. So that's probably the biggest surprise from the teams that progressed.
I would like to highlight a little bit of a different part of this standing that I see here,
Please.
which is super exciting for me for international competition in a league like this, is the team with the least wins has 4, and the team with the most has 10. Like, usually it's much bigger disparity between first and 8th. So we're not seeing any one team absolutely smash, and we're not seeing any team put on like a pathetic performance where everyone's memeing about it. So I really like to see that. I think the skill gap between different regions is definitely getting tighter and tighter.
Well, it would be nice if the Western European fans maybe just took a look at the bottom of that chart, though. Just saying.
Just saying.
I mean,
Take some notes.
the
And
other
this one.
benefit of regional diversity is that if Aster or Execration end up winning, then all 4 of our top teams in Group A were different regions. If TSM
That would
win,
be hype.
But what would be more hype is if TSM win, then we have 2 North American teams in Group A that go through.
Let's go.
The strength is strong, and moving to Group B, which is not fully resolved, not only in terms of the standings, but we will also have tiebreakers. But the locks are Team Liquid and that's it. Oh no, and Tundra. Tundra is also a lock because they got.
Did they get that final win?
No, I'm looking at the stream. It's looking like a 2-0, but Nouns is crazy.
You never know.
So if it's not a lock, then Liquid's the only confirmed, and the only confirmed eliminations are Nouns, Nigma Galaxy, and Talon Esports. Thoughts on the eliminations, Effie?
I am so shocked that Talon Esports is out. That is my one big shock. I didn't expect Nigma or Nouns to make it. To be honest, I didn't expect Team Spirit to be put in tiebreakers either. But Talon, this team just got 3rd place at the Lima Major. This team got 1st in their region with a flawless performance. They won every single series. Like, they did not struggle in any way. And they show up here and they looked completely lost. It didn't seem like they were themselves. And when we interviewed 23 Savage, he looked really upset. So I'm not sure what's going on. It's definitely a blow to their confidence right now, but I hope it doesn't affect them too much going into Berlin, because this team has so much potential so long as they can rein their emotions in.
They had some games too that they dropped that were.
Yeah.
Looked like they probably should have won.
I want to say this is going to separate the boys from the men, though. You know, this team, they look really good when they're looking good.
Yeah.
But now their backs are against the wall.
Yeah.
They had a blow to their confidence. How are they going to bounce back? Is this going to be the wake-up call that they use as an inspiration to take the major, or are they going to flop out? Well, we're going to learn a lot in the next week or two.
At the minimum, they will hopefully be continuing to scrim because they're in Istanbul right now. Talon was for this tournament, working their way to Germany, and at least they'll get the opportunity to continue playing against these teams, just not in officials. And I'm also curious what nouns are going to be doing, because we talked about how much this is a valuable opportunity for them to play international.
They're already
opponents.
here.
They're already here. And when else are they going to get this opportunity? How much do you think they've learned, and how much do you think they've benefited from this environment that normally they'd never get access to?
I mean, I think stuff like this is super important for a team that has very limited LAN experience. I mean, I think some of the players do, like Mu, had been in a few TIs himself, but if they want to be able to kind of break the mold of NA that's been there for eternity, it feels like, I think having these type of tournaments for them, I would stick around as long as possible.
Yeah.
And scrim as many of these teams as you can. This is invaluable for them, I think.
They're just here for the pubs.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of NA players play EU pubs anyway, especially if you live on East Coast.
Yeah.
Then it's pretty okay. But I mean, NA only has 2 slots for major qualifications, and nouns are always on a team that they've always been a team that's on the cusp of qualifying, right? It feels like in their series versus the 2 competitive teams of the region, TSM and Shopify, it feels like they can always take a game, but they can never close out the entire series. So maybe playing in this DreamLeague was the push that they needed. They have a lot of replays to review, a lot of mistakes that they can identify and try to correct now. And maybe they'll surprise us in 2 or 3. Maybe instead of a 1-2 loss, they're going to have the 2-1 win over one of the top teams. So we'll have to see.
They've become pronouns.
All right.
It would be nice to have that changing of the guard.
Good one.
Grammatically speaking, but in terms of the Dota as well. And then for our final elimination, Nigma Galaxy, another situation where we're looking at a team that I guess is learning, getting Miracle back. We have not confirmed necessarily. I don't think they've made a press release. They just said ATF was inactive.
I feel like in esports, that means you're out.
That's the polite way of saying you're still under contract.
Yeah.
That's like us saying that draft is really unique.
Some interesting picks there.
I was like, I can see the idea here. Maybe they're that's my way to do it.
Unfortunately, they will be taking this experience to Division 2, and we are already seeing Secret in Division 2 right now. So assuming that Secret doesn't just completely like outright win Tour 3 Div 1 if they get promoted and then win the 3rd major after that, we might be in another situation where Nigma Galaxy and Secret have to go through European regional quals. And
I heckin' love Western Europe.
I heckin' love Western European Dota. But the fact that it's that nail biter and like teams like Game and Gladiators, who were never on people's radars like a year and a half ago, it's another changing of the guard potentially.
To be honest, I think the biggest difference between NA and EU, for instance, in this regard, is these teams that are overtaking the traditional top dogs. I have to ask, is that a matter of, is it the pub culture? Is it the fact that they get to scrim against multiple teams, not just 1 or 2? Like, what is it that's allowing these teams to overtake the likes of like Nigma and Secret? Because now we're looking at like entities qualified for a few majors. We looked at like Ordu Thunder came out of nowhere and almost qualified for the major. There's like multiple teams that like are threatening the secrets of the world. And yeah, EU is just, it's gotten spicier and spicier, but this tournament, not the most amazing performances.
They're taking it easy on everyone.
I feel like every legend like fizzles out eventually, right? You have your prime, you have your glory years, and then, you know, gradually you just kind of lose that vigor. You lose that energy. You're maybe not playing as well as you used to, and you know, some people, I mean, I'm not saying that it has anything to do with age, but I feel like energy and like the desire to play is a huge,
and maybe having other things that you want to dedicate your time to.
And then, you know, as you get older, you start to focus on other things in your life, like your family or building your future or whatever. And a lot of people are trying to do both that and still compete even 12, 13 years later. So I feel like eventually it reaches a point where, yeah, maybe it's best to just look at other things, but that's us sitting on this couch speaking from a third party perspective. So, but that's how I look at it personally.
Regardless, I still get to witness the great Dota that all these teams bring, and the fact that they've committed their lives to doing it is something that I'm glad we get to celebrate here at tournaments like this and all of Dota. As we wrap up the 4th day of our group stage, We have 1 day of tiebreakers confirmed. Still don't know what the schedule will be tomorrow, but I can tell you that it will be starting at 12 CEST. Tune in for whatever time zone that is. Put it into the Google and figure it out. I don't know where you are. I know where I am, and I know what I'm looking at. What kind of instruments do you got? You got the bass, you got the guitar, you got the drums. Okay, we're staying pretty traditional then. As I thank all of you for watching another day of Dream League Season 19, and for one last time, it's the Pots and Pandas.